listen, buddy, you said you just checked that today, the parallax thing, though. Can we maybe bring you back to a more fundamental question, like, what we were speaking about, the surface of the Earth, right? The surface of it. If you were standing on a globe or a sphere, you're standing on it, right? That's what you believe. You're standing on a sphere. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There will be a drop over distance from your position, away from you, in all directions, right? Because it's a sphere. It's dropping away from you, the surface.
How is like dropping away from me the surface? What do you mean?
Change rate of slope. It will be.
Yeah.
It will be changing the the ground.
Yeah, for example.
It will be dropping away from you, from your line of sight, the observer.
Yeah, the horizon. Yeah, the horizon. Okay.
But that's the thing, though, that those not the sphere that you think that you're standing on, it will require a specific rate drop, and that can be tested. It has been tested to check if it's there. Like people, you can go outside, you can go to a body of water, you can do either measurements or long distance observation. There's even laser tests that have been used. And you can come to the conclusion that there is no curvature because there is no drop over the distance that will conform to the drop of the sphere, the globe, the globe Earth that they claim. It's not dropping, it's not curving. So how can it be a sphere if it's not curving, though? You see? You see the issue there?
Not really, because it's a giant sphere. So this phenomenon is not that
So it's a giant sphere, so it's not curving. That's what you're saying?
I'm saying that it's slowly curving.
Okay, it's curving, right? So it is curving. Exactly what I told you. So you're agreeing with me. It has to be curving. But it's not curving. You get that?
No, I don't get that. But it is curving on a very long distance.
You're saying it is curving.
Yeah. So the argument
do you have the method? Do you know who measured that curvature? Do you have that available? You said it's curving, so you probably have some type of method that was used to determine that, right? Like it's curving. That's what you're saying.
My own logic. That's my method. So who measured this? You know
your
this?
own logic. Can you describe that? Your own logic. What was the logic that you followed to come to the conclusion that the Earth is curving? What was that?
Okay. Can you answer me this question? Who measured this curvature of Earth?
No one has measured the curvature of the Earth because it doesn't exist.
Okay. If that's the answer, then.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying. No one has done it. No one has measured the curvature, but it has to be. You're saying it has to be there, even though nobody has discovered it or measured it or seen it or showed it. You're saying it's still there, even though
I have one more question.
Has measured it.
What about gravity? How do you respond to this?
Bro, remember you mentioned logic. Dude, just try to come to a logical conclusion about this one, because if you can't figure out the ground that you're standing on, or the waters across the surface of the Earth, how are you gonna figure out gravity, dude?
I don't know, so let's maybe find out this one.
Yeah, let's find out, yeah. So let's do a long distance observation, right? We can look at many examples. In the chat, I'm gonna jump in the text. Maybe people, if you look in the chat though, there might be people posting things now or before our conversation. There's probably people posting different observations from the surface of the Earth. And by you just looking at this stuff, you can safely come to a conclusion that there is no curvature, no curve that that is attached to that globe that you're thinking. The globe Earth 3,959 miles in radius. Because remember, it has a specific variation, specific variables, and that stuff can be tested for. And it has been tested for, and the test shows that it's not there. So it's not that. Because if it was that, if it was a sphere, that the curvature will be there, and we will be able to test for it. But it's not there after the test. Let me check the text real quick, because I got a
I
few
don't
things
know
here.
what you're talking about, but can we talk about something I know what we're talking about?
You don't remember the curve? You said it's a sphere. The sphere is curving.
But
and people
okay,
can test.
so yeah, bro, wait. So there are some like proofs about things that are like I want to say non like fuck, I forgot the word, but they're like non-direct proofs. So for example, like human is a human because it's like an animal because it has, I don't know, evolution, or it is born.
Yeah, now
like
you're gonna
from
go claim
male.
stacking. Now you're saying about bro.
No,
No,
I'm not claim stacking.
You
Bro.
are now you're saying we have evolution even though you don't have that. You don't know what that is. You don't know what that word means, and now you're gonna use it like it means something. To the conversation that we were having before. You wanna move away from the curvature.
No, bro, but
and
I
talk about
didn't.
something.
Wait, you're a fucking idiot from what I think right now, because I haven't done anything, and you're like preventing me from doing like haven't done anything, bro. So shut up and let me finish. So
You just said
yeah.
let's move away from the measurements of the curvature, the thing in question, the elephant in the room, and let's talk about something else. And you said yourself, indirect. So let's go away from the direct evidence and go to something else. And I'm trying to keep you on your feet, down to the earth. You go into something else, la la land, imaginary, fantasy. And I'm trying to stop you from doing that.
No,
If
you're
you want to
saying
do it,
some
we can
random
try.
shit. Okay, let's try, because like, okay, so the gravity. So why is
What's
there
that?
gravity?
Tell me. Okay, gravity. What is that? Tell me. What is it?
So this is the thing that Earth has some mass, like huge mass, and therefore it produces gravity that pulls object into the Earth, yeah, with its weight.
Okay,
That
is
did not
this like
escape.
is this like words that you read somewhere, or this is like a demonstration, something that can be tested and shown and tested for? Is this something like that you have test
Yeah,
showing?
it can be easily tested. So
Hey, Gemsy.
What is it? Oh, go ahead,
Jim,
DJ. My bad.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, okay, so it's pulling everything towards the center of the globe. So that would mean the water should be curving. Gemsy already debunked what your gravity claim, because if gravity was real, then the water would have to be curving at a certain rate. So Gemsy already debunked your.
You just told me that you don't believe. You just told me that gravity is not real.
No, it's you that believes in gravity.
So what you've got, gravity.
Good go, DJ.
Well, just quickly, one at a time. If you have gravity, that means that the water has to be curving. Gemsy just showed you that the water's not curving over distance. If you had gravity, it would have to be curving over distance, but it's not. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is the water curving? Yeah, I mean, it is curving. It is curving, like slightly.
Actually, no, it's not.
Well, every time we go and test it, this has been done thousands of times. There's a zero curvature. Bless you.
Just mute yourself, brother. Being toasty.
Why do objects?
It was two sneezes. It was two sneezes, man. It's fine.
Okay, why do objects simply fall on Earth, and they fall? Yeah.
So an object gets dropped, it goes down. So therefore, you've assumed we live on a sphere because of this action, this show. Here we go. I've got a pen. I let it go. It went down. So therefore my table is curved. I hope not, because I like things to stay on my table.
Yeah, that doesn't follow logically, bro. Like you're saying, okay, I see the water droplet, the pen dropping, like exactly the example that he gave you. I pick up the pen, I let it go, it goes to the floor, therefore I'm standing on a sphere? How does that logically follows?
That Earth has certain mass and certain mass, so therefore, so object fall on Earth with some like speed, and the speed is equal to their mass times this g, yeah. This what is this? 10 meters per second square, yeah, like this. So
Except that
that's
not
interesting.
everything
That
drops at that rate because, you know, helium goes up, it doesn't drop that way. We have hot air, we have many things that don't drop at that rate. And that rate, that's only an agree upon. That's a convention. That's people said, we agree that a lot of things drop at this rate. So we're just gonna say that everything does. But that's just people saying that. That's not. You cannot demonstrate that everything drops at that rate. That's not
I
reality.
don't know, like you were telling me about elements, and they behave different way, the elements, yeah, than like normal objects.
Yeah, and we know the behavior of water, and we know that water doesn't attach itself to the outside of spinning spheres. We know the behavior of that. We know that water lays horizontal on the surface. We know that. It can be demonstrated.
Okay,
It can be
so one more
measured that the
question.
water is not curving to the rate of the globe. So the globe is just falling flat, falling apart.
Okay, so let's assume that the Earth is flat. So why is it like this? When you go to the end of the flat Earth, why don't you fall down? Or when is the end of this?
When you go to, okay, so you just made up an imaginary place in your mind, and you think that imaginary thing doesn't work, and you are trying to ask me about it.
No, that is a model that is like flat Earth in my mind. So
A
it
model
has
in
to.
your mind, yeah, exactly what I said. Something that you made up in your mind that doesn't
No,
work.
but
You're just telling me that whatever you're imagining doesn't work for you. So now you're trying to tell me to
hey,
explain how it works for you.
no. Yeah, okay. So can you explain me your
Has anybody
model?
in here?
Shut
Has
up.
anybody in here tell you about the edge of the end of the world? Anybody in here made that claim that you're trying to push that to someone
Okay,
in
there
here?
is geometrical, I don't know, object like like a circle, and so I can see borders of the circle on the paper, on a piece of paper.
What? Have you ever thought about this? What if the ends of the world are unknown? What is that? That's an unknown that you don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
Have you
what
ever
about the?
considered that?
So can you answer me this one question right now? Is it possible when people discover these unknown ends of the world, do they fall down?
Who's that? Who discovered the ends of the world? Tell me. Go ahead. Tell me.
You.
Me? No, I haven't done that.
This
Okay,
is
I don't know. Ferdinand
brother.
Magellan.
Brother, I'll answer your question because I can't bear this 1 second longer. Nobody thinks the edge of the world, there's the edge of the world. No one thinks the earth is an object that you can hold in your hand if you were a giant. Okay? And fall down, that doesn't even make sense. Why would it fall? Where would it fall to? Yeah,
Like
it's like imagination.
outer space,
It would fall to
vacuum.
space. So I guess we could just push things off the edge to go to space. Dude, wasting our time with rockets, right?
Okay, but but you're like contradicting yourself because he told that we
Your
haven't
idea.
discovered. We haven't discovered the edges, according to him.
Indio, he thinks that the disk in the internet that people label flat Earth, that's us.
Yeah, we don't think the Earth is a disk in space floating around. Does that help?
So can you explain me what this is according to?
Earth is not in outer space. It's not inside of something. It's just the Earth, and that's all there is. Above the Earth, we see stars, sun, and moon, and all the celestial objects.
Phenomena.
Yeah, phenomenon, whatever you want to call them. There is no outside the Earth.
It's like
Just
a
like-
simulation.
Just to give you it's like saying, hey, what's outside the universe? Right? Doesn't even make sense to even ask that question. There is no outside. It's all there is. The Earth isn't the sun. It's not a planet. It's not a moon. It's not a ball. Did you understand all that, pal? Friend?
No, because this is like very abstract from what I think.
No. I mean, so they say that in modern cosmology, the universe is flat. Okay, this is what they say, that the universe itself is flat. Where's the edge? Can I fall off? Can I go outside of it?
Wait, we don't. Modern cosmology doesn't say that. It says the
Yeah, it does.
universe.
Yes, they
It
do.
does.
They say it's an
Since when?
asymptotically flat space-time.
That's news to me.
Okay, Google it. Flat universe.
No, I'll trust you on that. Honestly, I'll just trust you.
No, don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Well, is he a little liar? Is he a liar or something?
No, I tell the
No.
truth, but you guys still, in your head, you'll still think that the universe is not flat. Like, in their
No,
cosmology.
bro. Oh my god, if I'm saying I trust you, I'll trust you, bro. Please, just trust me that I trust you.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is,
I don't know what you're
hey,
saying.
I don't think the universe is flat. Unless you count just the Earth as the universe. So we know the Earth is flat from measuring it to be that way. And I heard you mention gravity, like why things fall. No one knows why things fall. No experiment can be done to determine why things fall. I mean, if you know the experiment, just tell us. I'm all ears.
I think that's the best answer for that because he sounds fairly new, but that's straight to the point. No one knows. That's the truth.
I
Yeah.
kind of want to bring up the whole thing of what was it, general relativity, that like you can't devise an experiment to tell the difference between acceleration and gravitation. I just kind of want to bring that up because I feel like it's related. Like,
Yeah, there are experiments. This is actually something. It's just, I don't mean to just be a freaking contrarian, but the gravity acceleration equivalence has never been actually proven, and there is actually a physicist working on demonstrating that. Does have some data that the acceleration, the inertial mass and the gravitational mass are not actually the same thing. And he's been doing these experiments by dropping different elements in his, I guess you would call it theory, hypothesis is the number of neutrons within the nucleus of an atom determine its inertial mass. The guy's name is Sky Darnos. He's a physicist. You can check out his YouTube channel and watch all his experiments. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But within the framework of relativity, Einstein said yes, inertial mass and gravitational mass are equivalent, but that's never actually been proven to be true. But the difference would be very small anyway. So.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think of the physicists then who sold these ideas? Like, do you think they were just bought by the government or something?
No, they're just wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, so
you heard me being wrong, right?
No. So I'm just trying to figure out like.
You guys can't conceive of it. You guys are like, you guys think they must be lying.
No, not like that. I'm just trying to figure out like what, like, okay, so but you do believe that it's been.
The physicists that said the Earth is a spinning sphere in the vacuum of space, they sound pretty sure about it, but they're just wrong.
Okay, so
what
they.
about other
So
planets?
you think that they thought they were telling the truth? You think that they think they had it figured out, but
they
were wrong.
believe what they're saying.
Okay, and then the
Okay,
government
but
took that
hold
idea and
on,
perpetrated that as a lie.
hold on a second, just one second. I've talked to physicists. Actually, I've debated person with a PhD in mathematical physics in this server. Okay,
Interesting.
twice, two different ones. Okay, and when it comes down to it,
Yeah.
when we ask them, they don't actually know the Earth is a globe. They just believe it. They've never done any experiments. They've never seen any experiments done. They've never done any measurements. They've never done anything. They just learned it when they were a kid and just continue to believe it.
Okay, and so the government took the mistake of the scientists that
What do
the
you mean the
Earth is a
government?
globe.
When
Oh,
you say
sorry,
the
because that.
What do you mean by the
What do-
government?
Like the
Dog
city,
what do
catcher?
like the
What
lady
do I
at
mean
the
by the
at the
government?
tax
Like
office.
You
You
know,
think
the
the
dog
lady at the
catcher?
tax office?
NASA and stuff?
Oh, like
Like,
NASA. Okay,
because
NASA's
NASA is like
you know that?
affiliated with them.
Yeah. You guys are in trouble with the NASA thing. So a couple months ago, Donald Trump signed an executive order
Yeah, I
turning
know.
NASA into a spy agency. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah.
so my question was like, do you guys believe that the government took the mistake of the scientists that the Earth is a globe and continued to perpetrate it as a lie for some gain?
It's not a lie if it's a mistake.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what a lie is, right? The lie is intentional
Yeah. No,
deception.
I'm confused because I thought I used correctly. Yeah, they're lying that the Earth is a globe when it's flat. What you believe?
No, I don't believe they're lying. I believe they're wrong, that they're mistaken, that they believe what they're saying, which means they're not lying.
Oh,
There's a difference
okay. So
between lying means intentional
yeah.
deception.
Okay. I talked to a guy before, and he was like, "Yeah, I believe the government is lying about it." So I'm just
Government,
okay.
look, the government lies about a lot of shit. So, I mean, their official policy is to lie.
Very
Okay.
true.
But can you
That's the
tell me
official
something?
policy. They actually argued that in
Okay.
front of the Supreme Court, federal government. That the official
good
policy
lord.
of the United States government is not to tell the public the truth.
Hey,
Oh damn.
can you tell me what about other planets?
Case was
Because I
Akaba
know.
versus Ashcroft. In case you want to know what case it was argued by Ted Olson, Solicitor General of the United States.
Can you tell
Back
me
after
about
that.
other planets? Is
Just
there
wait a
anything
minute. You're
like
gonna get a reply to the
planet?
other
I
planets
covered,
first.
Okay.
brother, I covered the other planet thing. Earth isn't a planet. So there's no other planet. It's not other.
Yeah, the issue that you're having though is that you're in your premise. You're saying in your premise. You think the Earth is already a planet. What about the other planets? And that's wrong. That's a wrong premise. It's a false premise because the Earth is not a planet. And when you look up to the sky and see the luminaries, and some of those we call them planets. The Earth is those things are nothing like the Earth, and the Earth is nothing like those things. So the Earth is not one of those things.
Yeah.
What about some like the like photos like we have? Is it Photoshop from
How
other
do you know they're
planets?
photos? Well, no, the
We
problem with
have
those
some
is that
photos.
there's no way to test them. And they're not even consistent amongst each other. Right. So you can look at any random so-called image of the Earth and they don't look like any other image of the Earth. And number two, you can't even tell because you've never seen the Earth from that point of view. There's no even way to even tell if that's what the Earth looks like. I mean, for all you know, the Earth is a freaking giant egg. You'd have no way to know if, their picture of a ball versus an egg, you can't tell. There's no way to evaluate them. And we know they have to be fake. You know how we know that? You know how we know that any image depicting the Earth as a ball is fake? Are you curious how we know?
It's composite images.
No, we know they're fake because they depict something that doesn't exist. And we know it doesn't exist because in those images claims to be the oceans of the world. And we can go out to those oceans and measure the surface and demonstrate that those oceans don't curve on their surface. And if they don't curve on their surface, the image must be fake. Just like if I went to Times Square, right? If they showed, hey, here's a picture. It's Times Square. There's a big pink house in the middle of it. And I go there and there's no pink house. It doesn't matter how many pictures of the pink house in Times Square there are. I know that those images are fake because there's no house there. Okay.
Yeah, the images will be a misrepresentation of the Earth. So the Earth is a sphere, and the oceans curving around the sphere. And when we go to the oceans are not doing that. The images will be a misrepresentation of reality.
There you go.
See, what we do, we go out to reality and check what they tell us to be true. Okay. They say, hey, the Earth is a ball. It has a radius of 3,959 miles. The rate of curvature should be roughly 8 inches per mile squared. If in 10 miles, the Earth should drop down 66 feet. So we can go out into the world and test all these things, right? To see if what they're saying actually is out there in the physical and natural world. And when we go out and test it, and just like you could go out and test it, you're going to find what they're saying can't possibly be true because it's really not out there in the world. It's only on television or on a screen or in a book.
Okay. Can you maybe
Tassie,
tell
when you
me?
turn off the screen, when you turn off the TV where you saw the globe, and you go outside, you check the surface of the Earth. That's nothing like what you saw on the TV. Go ahead, Tassie.
Okay. Can you tell me? So why is it like this? That official narrative is that the Earth is round, it's in space, etc. Why?
At this point, first of all, we'd have to read men's minds, but it's at this point it's a Western tradition. It's like being born in a Christian country and then you're Christian, right? So you're born in the West, and they tell everybody the Earth's a globe, but everybody just passes it on. Like your parents, right? They probably told you the Earth is a globe. Do you think they know? Do you think your parents have any knowledge of the shape of the Earth?
No.
No, they know some basic
Yeah, they were told, right?
Stars,
they were told by their parents, and their parents were told by their parents, and their parents. You see what I'm saying? It's just like a tradition passed on. None of these people actually know, and that's what I was trying to tell you guys earlier. I've talked to the people, the scientists that you think know, and they don't know because I've asked them. I've talked to them. I've talked to people that are satellite engineers and pilots and surveyors and physicists, cosmologists, astrophysicists. We've talked to all these people over the last 10 years, and they don't have any information that's different than you.
What about this, like comets or like meteors? Do they? I mean, there are some stones that fall from above to Earth, yeah.
Yeah, there's also cats and dogs and fish and animals that fall from the sky too. So what?
There's also fish that falls from the sky, though. You know that?
No. What do you mean?
Never heard of the reign of animals? It's been going this is documented for 2,000 years. There's sometimes there are just rain animals out of the sky.
What do you mean? Nothing like this exists.
Okay.
Anyways, real quick about the rocks in the sky, there is a difference between the phenomena that we see, like we call sporadic meteors or meteors, and then there is the cartoon version of that. Because remember, if you're standing on the ground and you look up to the sky and you see a phenomena, and let's say a rock falls from the sky, and then you go pick it up, right? Okay, cool.
Yep.
That doesn't logically follow that the Earth is a globe, though, because then you go then you have the question, where did this rock came from? How did it happen? You're gonna be asking those questions, and then you're gonna have one of those guys showing you a cartoon, right? And then you're gonna look at the cartoon, and the cartoon is gonna show you the misrepresentation of the curving Earth, and that rock came from outer space. But that's just an explanation. They don't actually know that. That's just a misrepresentation of what happened. Go ahead.
Okay, so is the theory that we are like alien zoo? Is it good one?
Eh?
Like humans are alien zoo, yeah? We are like animals of the
that's
alien.
a misrepresentation of the use of the word alien, because alien means foreigner, someone from other land. And alien, you can also use it in fiction. So whenever you speak about outer space, aliens, that's fiction. If you're speaking about people from other lands or coming from other places, sure, you can use the word alien, but what you're thinking about, the the aliens in Star Wars that look like frogs, speaking different languages. No, that's just cartoons and fantasy.
Yeah, there's no as far as other land. There's no land in the sky for people from other lands to come from.
That we know of. That we know of.
Have you noticed? Yeah, I just want to bring up. Have you noticed that like we just keep talking about this subject and your mind keeps going back to outer space over and over and over again? Even though we're talking about the Earth, you keep thinking about like what's up in the sky instead of what's under your feet.
Yes.
And then you're wondering why is it that you even think this way?
Because
imagine we were talking about your house, right? And you just kept talking about your neighbor's house. I said, dude, but what's your house made out of? And you're like, man, my neighbor's house has got frickin' vinyl siding. And I'm like, but what about your windows in your house? And then you said, well, my neighbor has gutters on. Like, this is what you're doing over and over again. It's like a mental. Like, bro, don't do. Listen, I'm not like giving you shit. It's like, but we observe this to happen all the time. Is that when we talk about this topic, we end up talking about everything but the Earth and talk about everything else in the world.
Because this claim is like, honestly, because this claim is like, I've never even heard anything like this, so that's why.
Well, everybody
he sounds really new to the topic, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am really new to the topic.
Yeah, so brother, now let's imagine nobody ever told you that the Earth was a giant ball. Would you have figured it out on your own without being told?
No, I wouldn't, probably.
And every single person I've ever asked has said that same thing. They said, I never would have figured it out. Okay, that means it's not obvious that the Earth is a ball. It's not obvious. It's not obvious from your daily experience. If you go up a mountain, go in an airplane, go to the ocean, anywhere you go, it's not obvious at all that the Earth would be a ball. It's like a mental construct that humanity is like constructed in our collective mind.
Oh, shoot.
But there's no evidence for it in the physical world. That's the problem. That really is the issue. And that's a problem, right? Because science is supposed to be empirical, right? It's supposed to be based upon observation of the natural world, not conceptualizations of the natural world. So if science is empirical and they say the Earth is a globe and it's supposed to curve, the water's supposed to curve all over the world, and the most of the world is water, I should be able to go to a large body of water, and measure this curvature in the natural world, but no matter what distances we try to measure it, it's not there. And we're talking, like, for instance, the world's furthest photograph is 425 kilometers from the French Alps to the French Pyrenees. Okay, let's just see something like, off the top of my head, 4 miles of drop. That's how much the surface of the Earth is supposed to curve down from that person's eye level, something like 4 miles. Okay, so this drop, there's radio transmissions of 10,000 miles. There's LoRa chirp radio, which is like a low power technology for communication of 800 miles. There's all sorts of evidence that the Earth is flat because the limitations of a curving surface just don't seem to exist in reality.
The limitations of a curving what?
Yeah, a limitation of a curving surface. So if we're like far apart.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Like there's supposed to be a bulge of Earth between us if we're farther apart, right? Because the curvature of the Earth. We ever heard like ships go over the horizon and the Earth is supposed to be blocking the view to the bottom of the boat? Have you ever heard that?
No, can you repeat, because I didn't get anything what you.
Yeah. So if If a ship sails away from you, this is what they say. If a ship sails away from you, it'll disappear bottom first, then the mast, right? In that order as it sails away. And they say that this is due to the curve of the Earth. The ship is going around the curve of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is what they say. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I also knew. Yeah, that's what I know. Like when you have the sun, yeah, the sun is setting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this also considered the proof that it goes that disappears in the horizon. So this is where you cannot see no more. Like
yeah. The sun goes over the horizon and goes underneath your feet. So when it's midnight and someone says, "Hey, point to the sun," you point down, right? So where's the sun? Point down. That's so funny. I mean, yeah. So this is the idea, but when this is actually tested, because just watching the sun do something or just watching a boat, that's one thing. And maybe there's optical phenomenon happening due to the meteorological conditions that make it look a certain way. But can we actually test it from this subjective interpretation to find something objective and actually measure the surface of the Earth to actually see if it is actually curving? Okay. And all these tests show that it's not, all these measurements. So one thing you can do is like you can take a laser, you can shine it across a body of water, and you can measure its height, how high it is above the water along its length, to see if that height above the water increases, right? So let's say I start at 2 meters above the water, shine a laser 40 kilometers, and then go to the other end of the 40 kilometers and go and measure the laser height above the water. Well, that laser should be 127 meters in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, but when these tests have been done, it's the same height above the water. It's not way up in the air.
Okay, so did they like try to, because their mathematical proportion can be counted, yeah? So you like cover this distance, you divide this, what was this kilometers, the distance?
40 kilometers.
40, so maybe that's not enough, 40 kilometers, because...
Well, I just gave you what the globe says. I gave you, so the laser should be 127 meters in the air. That's what the globe predicts.
Okay.
Okay, but they measured the meter they measured the laser 1.5 meters above the surface.
1.5, and it was supposed to be
127. 127.
So it went up a bit. So it's
that's
like
2 orders of magnitude. That's not a bit.
That's not a bit, you're saying.
That's the difference between having a penny in your bank account and $1.
It's like a skyscraper building, like a giant skyscraper building.
Yeah, 44-story building. That's its equivalent of a 44-story building versus a 4-foot man.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Okay, but I'm gonna honestly, I'm gonna count this on a piece of paper in a moment because I'm curious. And can you send me the link to this, like laser?
Yeah,
or
sure thing.
Okay.
Just to give you a little background, I'll give you a link. It's a PDF. It's got all the measurement results. It was done in Lake IJsselmeer in the Netherlands, which is like a saltwater lake that they made out there. And they did a series of tests. And then they went back and did some of the tests again to replicate it, to make sure. And they had like meteorological stations. And it was a very thorough test. This was actually like the 4th or 5th time they did this type of laser test, because every time they did one, people would complain that you forgot this or forgot that. So this was like a culmination of like 5 years of attempts, basically. So I'll post it in the side chat without further ado.
Okay. So maybe like one more question. So like, well, how is it like with North Pole and South Pole? Why does this magnetism exist on Earth? Hello?
Oh yeah, because compasses only work because of magnetism. So how do you guys explain that? It's a good question.
So magnetism's the shape of the ground now.
Yeah. Okay. So, God, I'm gonna answer this very quickly because I'm looking for that thing. Anyway, so compasses don't point towards the North and South Pole. That's a myth. Compasses actually just align with the magnetic field. Okay, so whatever the field lines, whatever direction they point in, the compass aligns with them. It's called magnetic declination. So
So how do you get
magnetic declination in some places is 90 degrees off of what it should be, such as in the South Pacific. So if you were in the South Pacific and you were following your compass north, you'd actually be traveling east.
Okay, seriously?
Yeah, seriously. On all like navigation maps. In fact, I was looking at a U.S. A Coast Guard chart today, and I didn't know this. With the magnetic declination where I live is something like 15 degrees. So that means like your compass will point 15 degrees different from what you would call true north in Boston Harbor.
That's explained in my question is like, how do you guys explain that? Because we explain like all of that through the globe model of the central core being like kind of molten iron and
Yeah.
The explanation's horseshit though. Have you thought about it for 3 seconds about that explanation?
I mean, I was taught in class basically the big charges. Man,
well, let me say, like,
I can just say crap like charges. Sounds kind of BS.
Did they teach you about the Curry? Did they teach you about the Curry temperature when they taught you about that?
What's the Curry temperature?
The Curry temperature is the temperature at which metal loses magnetism.
Not all. Wait, sorry.
Metal loses iron and nickel, and any metal loses magnetism at a certain temperature because they can't align, right? Because the thermal motion is more random than its disorder from thermal motion is greater than the order of the magnetism, right? So it can't stay in an ordered state to actually create a magnetic field. Yeah, this is called the Curry temperature. It's like 400 degrees Fahrenheit for iron.
So you really don't believe that there is this
the Curry temperature
metal core?
No. Why should I?
The metal core is only an idea that you got it from a cartoon, bro, from a depiction. You saw it in a book, it was depicted by someone, and they said this is how it is, but they don't know that. They just made it's just a baseless idea. Nobody has verified that.
They put a lot of work in like proving this.
How did they prove a lot of work? I want to know how they proved it. How did they prove that there's a molten iron core? Did they take a sample?
Sick. And I thought I'd be able to drop astronomy. Now we need to take it to ask these questions.
Well, astronomy is a pseudoscience.
Okay, well, this is also. I mean, pseudoscience. This kind of.
Well, I mean, can you give us an astronomy experiment?
That debunks your experiments.
Any astronomy experiment of any type, anytime, anywhere.
I mean, an astronomy experiment. I mean, then sure.
You can't do an experiment, and you're not doing science, right? So we need an astronomy experiment.
I mean, you could just let's say you're gonna map the rotation of the Earth by looking at a constellation and finding the constellation across different times.
That's not an experiment, dude.
Yeah, it is. Sure, it is.
Experiments figure out cause and effect relationships of natural phenomena. Right. So a natural phenomenon would be
so if you see the effect of the hold on, can I go? You see the effect.
You said that the observation.
We agree. You see the effect, dude. That we're trying to figure out the cause of the effect.
Yeah. So then you figure out the cause, and you figure that it's because of the rotation of the Earth. Or is that not valid because that's like just a random explanation? Because it's a valid way to explain the effect, like the thing that you see can be explained by rotation of the Earth.
The explanation is the cause.
Well, okay, but we need to do the experiment. That's a nice hypothesis. The rotation of the Earth is the cause of the stars moving. Great, nice hypothesis.
Yeah.
Where's the
So
experiment demonstrating that?
I mean, you use a telescope. You'd find it. You'd find the constellation. You'd try and find it again in like another time, and
Yeah,
you'd
and you're
use
gonna.
that to map.
That's the effect. We want to know the cause.
Yeah. So you're looking at okay.
Let me
So
take you through the scientific method.
in the
because you don't
experiment,
seem
you have to have the
understand.
cause first. In the
You don't-
experiment, is that a requirement? You have to have the cause first.
No, no. You observe a natural
No,
phenomenon.
you don't have to.
Yeah, so I'm observing natural phenomenon of constellations like switching in
That's
and
the
out
effect.
in the sky.
And that's the effect.
Yeah.
That's the observable
Yeah.
phenomena. That's the effect. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I explain it using a cause, which is the rotation of the Earth. Is that not valid?
No, you don't explain it. You do an experiment.
Yeah, just put it. Listen, bro. Just putting it in words, like you grab a pen and put it on paper, and you say, "This is my explanation why I see the luminaries doing what they do." Right? And you put it on paper. That explanation is not a demonstration, just because you wrote it down or
Yeah,
you said it with your mouth.
So there is an alternative explanation to that. That there's a celestial sphere that rotates around the Earth. How do you know that that's not it?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
You see what I'm saying is like when you do this, if you don't do the experiment, then you can have all sorts of alternative hypotheses about what the cause could possibly be. And this is why astronomy isn't a science, because like all they can ever really do are get correlations of phenomenon, but they can never get like cause and effect relationships because they can't do experiments on astronomical objects, right?
Just drop astronomy. Just go for astrobiology.
Astrobiology. The hell is that?
Exobiology, bro. Aliens from dirt in the sky.
I don't think my university offers that.
I'll get you that. Hold on, let me get that. So someone else talk while I find that link. Unless someone else
I don't think my
posts.
university offered that.
So yeah, we can fill the air with maybe more questions or more comments.
Okay, I have a question, another one. What about these like rockets? Do they really fly somewhere?
Yeah, they go away from your view, most of them.
What about like the movie? Like I don't know, that they are 25,000. Like this is like the first cosmic speed, and this like 25,000 kilometers per hour. No, sorry, this is like
You see how they show you a cartoon when they say, "Look, it's going 24,000 miles per hour, the rocket or whatever," right? You see how you see when you're looking at that.
Cartoons are to visualize and to explain to make easier to digest. They're not
easier to digest. Yeah.
They're not like I forgot. They're not like a ruse or like a mask to hide some sort of.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. Rockets do work in reality. We do have.
Why do they gotta help us digest it?
Yeah, rockets work.
Because not everyone.
So...
Yeah, we do have rockets, but rockets
because it's bullshit, bro. It's literally propaganda. Like.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
They fly somewhere. Rockets. So like, why? Where do they fly?
Yeah. Don't they retrieve them in the rocket graveyard in the Antarctic, in the Atlantic Ocean? Don't they have they retrieve them over there?
Okay, but I don't know. So, but it's like is flying possible? Like flying a plane?
Yeah, the plane requires they have to assume a motionless flat Earth to be able to make the airplane practical and safe to the engineer to get on it and for them to put their families in it and transport them from point A to point B. They have to drop the globe whenever they decide to build the airplane, and then the pilot as well has to do the same thing, basically throw the globe in the trash bin to operate the airplane.
Okay.
You know, the pilot never takes into account any curvature of the ground, any movement of the ground below him.
Okay, I don't know. It maybe makes some sense. Maybe. Do you think it's gonna be like in the future? It's gonna be like, I don't know, popular view? What you're
Well, in the
representing?
past, it was popular, right? All of your ancestors, all civilizations across the world knew that the Earth wasn't this globe. It's just today's biggest religion in the world at the moment. Maybe in the future, people will just drop their religion and think about something else. Maybe acknowledge reality for a change.
Yeah, and you might think like, what's he saying? It's a religion. It really is a religion. It doesn't have a deity.
No.
Like,
I understand the link with religion. That this is like the shared belief that people like gather around. Yeah. That
well,
they...
also, it supports a bunch of other ideas, right? That a Big Bang,
Yeah. Okay.
which is like a creation story, which creation of the universe story, same as like the Lord said, "Let there be light," and then there's like the creation of man, right? That came from evolution, according to them, which came from naturalistic reasons. A man evolved from random processes of this Big Bang, random universe, and which is like,
So
which
like,
is just well, I mean, what I'm
you
saying is
don't,
that the
you
things
also
that
don't believe
religion
in
is.
evolution?
Why would I?
No, you
Yeah,
believe in
why?
evolution, yeah?
No, I do not.
Why not?
Yeah, why should I?
But so what do you believe in? Do you believe in creationism, that God created humans?
Yes.
Uh, so
Sorry,
so
are you
this is
Christian?
this is your religion. You're Christian, yeah?
Yeah,
Or do you
I'm a
just
Christian, but that's independent than this.
interesting?
The
Yeah,
Bible
so are
says
there
the Bible
like
says
flat
prove
Earth?
all things, bro.
Okay, but
I
are
can
there
prove
like
the earth is
flat
flat
Earth
based
guys?
upon what I've gone out and done myself.
Okay, are there any flat Earth guys who believe in evolution?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
Come on, all
Why
shapes
do
and
you
comments.
believe in evolution? I mean, to be honest, you probably couldn't even define what evolution actually is in the first place.
I think I can. So this is the
State
adaptation.
the theory of evolution. State what it is.
Okay, so
Exactly what it is.
for me, this is the
Not for
not
you.
exactly for
No, not for you. The
Definition.
actual theory of evolution, what it is.
Yeah, the theory, not your
okay.
theory. The theory.
Okay. So the organisms change to fit the environment, and the organisms that aren't fit, they die, and they change to adapt to the environment to
No, it died. It stopped right there. You stop. He says they die.
genes. To pass their genes, and they die. Those who are not fit,
I-
they die. Yeah.
Okay.
If he
You
died,
know.
that's not evolution. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me. There's a couple problems with that. Genes code for proteins. They don't code for body morphology, which means body shape and form. Right.
Yes.
They know
yes.
this because of experiments done with these worms that don't die, that cutting them in half, and then manipulating them so that the pieces regenerate. Right. So these are called flatworms. You can cut them in half.
Yeah. Flatworms. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can cut them in half,
Yeah,
and then
parasite.
so what they stop, Gemsy, fucker. Yes, parasites. So what they've done is they've got these worms to basically, by using an electric field, to like they cut it in half, and the head, instead of the head growing a tail, they get it the head to grow another head, and the tail to grow a tail, and then they can cut that in half, and it stays a tail worm, and it stays a head worm. Right? It's all genetically identical, but their body morphology has changed permanently. You understand?
That's right.
So
yeah.
yeah, it's the work of Michael Lewin.
Okay, I understand.
Michael
I
Levin.
understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
So that necessitates that the genetic material does not hold the body plan of organisms. It's something else.
Doesn't it? Okay, something else.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hold the body plan. DNA only codes proteins. That's all it does.
Okay.
So there's a big freaking Achilles heel. And then there's the problem of actually making proteins, which would actually be useful. The space of proteins is so large, it's something like 10 to the 167 power. The probability of you finding any useful fucking protein in that space is well beyond how old the universe is. The universe would have to be something like a million times older. Okay, so
from what I know, proteins are only on Earth, are they?
yeah, but there's
Anywhere
so
else?
many variations of proteins, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that the odds of a single protein forming by chance is 10 to the 167 power?
Yeah, I know that this is like a very small chance. 10 to the 100 of 60 what?
167
Six.
power.
Okay.
That's
Power.
not. That's
Power.
not.
Okay.
That's impossible. That's not in a small chance. That's impossible.
Okay.
If you want a protein,
So
if you want a particular
this is
protein and said, "I'm going to do it by chance," you would wait longer than the age of the universe by that number is like 10 to the 23 power.
But wait, I mean, there's these experiments with the primordial soup. Do you believe in this primordial soup
No.
even?
I mean,
No,
does it got
because
onions?
there. No, this is like these amino acids swimming in this like something water or no? In water?
No, it's not possible. What they saying happened isn't possible. Do you understand? Probabilistically
Yeah,
not
I
possible.
understand.
Well, I mean, there's
So
an open challenge.
therefore,
I mean, it's just an open
so
challenge.
therefore there is a God. Therefore there is a God. God.
No, I believe in God for completely different reasons than this.
Oh, okay.
My argument for
But
God would be a logical argument that has nothing to do with evolution, or I don't have a naturalistic justification for God.
okay, okay, I think I consider myself like thinker, like independent thinker, kind of. I would say so because I kind of think and I try different ideas, like your idea. I tried it for a moment.
I don't have an idea. What is my idea exactly? My idea is I go out into the world, it looks flat because it is flat. That isn't much of a stretch of imagination. In fact, that involves no imagination.
Yeah, it involves like it's like simple observation. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and just take it for what it is and like stop adding shit to it. And other
Okay.
people have said that observation that we all see, everybody has seen, that's got eyes. They've told people, there's people that say that's an illusion, that you're just too small. That's actually a big ball, and you're just too small. You can't see it. You have to go to a special place, but you can't go there because you don't have the right stuff. Only these anointed people can go there and see the ball in its full glory, but not you. Everybody
Why?
else.
So
And then they also say,
why is like
hold on. They also say the Earth is spinning. You see the sun and stars move, but they're not moving. You're moving. They're basically telling you that your entire perception of reality is some sort of illusion.
It's nonsensical. Your perception of reality is nonsensical because your senses are telling you something else, but reality is something else than what your senses tell
okay?
you. So yeah,
I agree, but
reality is
from what I
nonsense,
know,
bro.
from what I know, these theories are supposed to like enhance your senses in a way. That
By
this is
ignoring
something
them?
like yeah, I don't know, by like just scientific microscope and like telescope.
Yeah, but no one's ever used a telescope to look at the Earth and see if it's a ball, and seeing that it is a ball. Not with a telescope, that's for sure.
Actually, when you use the telescope and you look at long distance observations, you see that it's not a globe. If you see far enough, right?
Okay, well, so would you maybe
Testing.
Look,
Testing.
bro, we're not trying to listen. Let's just go. We're not trying to convince you of anything. There's no
Testing.
way we're ever going to convince you. We're not that good where we're going to like overcome, basically the indoctrination and you've grown up in Western society and you've been bombarded with this idea. We aren't going to overcome that because it's
okay,
like kind of like regardless of what you think, it's integrated into your identity, and that's how it is with most people. Yeah,
okay.
so we aren't going to defeat that. The only thing that will ever defeat that will be you testing it yourself. That's the only way. That's the only way I'm not. Well, it's not the only way. That usually the other way is having some crazy anti-flat earther try to defend the globe, and see how shit their arguments are. That turns people into flat earthers. But the only way to
We can
really
also
prove
send him
something to somebody.
to
Oh,
the
go ahead.
clinic where they send the where the rich people goes and they do the brainwashing. Yeah, we can send you there too. Probably that might work. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, so why?
Oh, hold
okay,
on.
but
I was going to make one more point.
Okay.
The only way to prove something to somebody is to demonstrate it, right? Because if you get them and you say, hey, if I do this, this will happen, and then you actually do that, that's proving it. That's proving it in a way that's undeniable. So what I'm telling you is, if you want to prove what the Earth is, you have to demonstrate it. It's not here on the internet. It's not in a book. It's out there in the world. You have to actually go test it.
So what about other
That's actually the difficult part for a lot of people to go test it. That's where a lot of people just don't go and do it. Like going to Revere when it's 45 degrees and do an observations for an hour or so. A lot of people cannot do that. I mean, they're too lazy.
Okay, what about other I'm asking you some other question, not about. Can you answer me other scientific questions? Hello.
Yes, you can ask another question.
Okay, electricity. So it works, yeah.
Electricity works?
Yeah.
I thought it was unemployed.
What unemployed?
Just kidding. Go ahead.
What works? What was that? I missed it.
Electricity, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can switch the light bulb on and it lights.
Okay.
So I have electricity, and that's great phenomenon. So it works.
Okay. Is there more to this?
Yeah, there's some scientific theories about that, and the other way it's about the Earth is round. And
see, now this is a good example. This is you brought up the perfect subject matter: electricity and magnetism. Now, it was experimented with for quite a long time when a guy named James Clerk Maxwell came around, and he made the theory of of electricity and magnetism. And he used something called the mathematical model he made was used the ether. I don't know if you ever heard of the ether theory. He used this mechanical model to make the model of electricity and magnetism. Okay. But nowadays, nobody believes in the ether, and they say the ether doesn't exist. So we're literally using a model based upon something that they say doesn't exist is actually real. Now, the lesson in all this is that mathematical models, even though they quote unquote work, don't always define what reality is. And this also leads to my second point about this, is that when they tried to use Maxwell's equations, now it was great in the lab, but it sucked when you came to trying to engineer the electrical system, right? And they couldn't really get it to work. You had burnouts and freaking all sorts of problems trying to actually engineer electrical power transmission. And then other people came along, such as Tesla, who actually made what we use now for the alternating current. He freaking invented it, and he didn't use any of Maxwell's stuff. He was purely an experimenter, an engineer, right? And then you had Steinmetz, who was like an engineer who came up with all the formulas for actually electric power transmission and power lines, right? So it wasn't the scientists that figured out how to make it work in the physical world. It was the engineers. And the scientists, at least back then, they used a method the scientists themselves say doesn't even exist. So it is a good example. Yes, electricity works, but it isn't the scientists that make it work, it's the engineers. Because they don't care about why it works. They only care about does it work. You understand? The theory of why everything's happening, they don't care about the causal mechanisms or anything like that. They're going to use whatever mathematics they use to suit their purpose, even if there's no ultimate reality there and it's completely fictitious mathematical construct. They don't care about that. They have an employer. Their employer says make it fucking work, and that's all they care about. And the reason their employer says make it work because you say make it work, right? My electricity.
I want electricity. I want electricity in my house.
Yeah. I'm trying to cook. I'm trying to heat my house. I'm trying to look at porn, and my computer won't work. So turn that shit on.
Try to whatever cook. Run my computer. Or something. Okay.
Yeah. Computers are without electricity are nothing but a giant paperweight.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, the story of electricity and magnetism is very interesting.
Oh,
There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Eric Dollard. There's a presentation he gave called "The History of Electricity and Magnetism." It's really good. He's not even a professor, man, but he goes through the history from the beginning from Benjamin Franklin to Gauss to like all the people, all the original people, and how electricity and magnetism, its understanding of what it is and how to use it, developed over time, is very educational. It's really like everybody that's like pushed the field to ends up going a little crazy, which is also kind of weird.
Yeah. Do another question, like different. So, would you consider your views to be like kind of obscure or like dangerous?
Dangerous?
Would you consider? I don't know if I say this. That's why work. The Earth is flat.
My views are not dangerous unless look.
Yeah, I don't know. Dangerous.
Just personally, my view is not dangerous because I don't give a shit what the government does. I don't give a shit if they fucking make fake space programs. I'm not going to protest them. It's their gig. Let them do it. I don't care if everybody follows it. I'm just here giving information. Hey, they're saying it's this. You go out into the real world, it's not that. It's this other thing, and that's all I'm telling y'all. And you can take it or leave it. Do what you want with it, but you can't say you didn't know because now at least you know. Listen, I grew up in the 80s when the space shuttle first, flew. I know all the bullshit that they were telling us back then is the same bullshit that we're going to the moon, we're going to go again. All this stuff, it's to me, it's just nonsense. They've been just saying forever. We were actually talking about this in here last night. How long is it going to be when people because they keep saying, they keep saying like, hey, we're going to go back to the moon. We're going to go back to the moon. How many more years of not going back to the moon before people start being suspicious?
Right? I mean, it's already suspicious. Yeah, I agree.
I know. But
I agree that it's suspicious. I agree that it is suspicious because there was only like one successful moon landing, and it was in the 70s. Yeah, it was in the 70s.
Yeah. What I'm saying is,
so it is suspicious that it's been like 50 years and the technology has improved. I mean, computers have improved, and they have this.
Actually, the only technology that has gone backwards is space technology. Moon landing technology has been going backwards compared to everything else.
Yeah, they can't even make space.
Okay. I honestly believe that moon landing could be fake. Because I've seen a lot of analysis on YouTube that prove that it is a fake. Yeah, and I was more convinced that it is fake, this moon landing. So I believe in this for sure. That it
you were
fake.
Fighting me earlier, but that's good that you kind of
Hold on. But I really want to. I'm talking about the whole space thing. I was just using a moon landing as an example. They've also said there's going to be space tourism. and like just like random people can just like buy a ticket to space. When none of this stuff happens, like, is it going to be like 50 years from now, 100 years from now, 200 years? We're like, hold on, dude. It's been 200 years. You're still not doing space tourism. Like, you must be lying. Like, how long is it going to take before the normal people just go, these guys must be lying? Mute up, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. I know. This is like very interesting what you're saying. Okay, so that may be a lie, but apart from this, do you have any other like beliefs that are counter, like that counter what generally people believe in like this? Do you have any other beliefs like this?
I mean, I don't know how many people believe the freaking official 9/11 conspiracy. Do you believe in the official 9/11 conspiracy theory?
What do you think happened in 9/11? Let's hear it.
Do you believe in the official one? The official conspiracy?
Because the official conspiracy or the official story?
The official story is a conspiracy.
I mean, I honestly, Loki, I think it might have been Israel, honestly. At this point,
I mean, you just got to admit, though, the official story is a conspiracy theory.
Or the Al Qaeda one, like the terrorism one.
Well, yeah, a conspiracy of 19 hijackers, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean,
it's a conspiracy of 19 hijackers, brother.
I just don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, all I'm saying is, even the official story is a conspiracy theory. So when they say 9/11 conspiracy theory, they're talking about any theory. Because no one thinks one person did it, right? Because your thing is conspiracy or solo. Nobody thinks 9/11 was a solo job, like the lone gunman on the grassy knoll. No one thinks there was a lone pilot. Okay, so if there's no lone pilot, it's a conspiracy theory. We're just quibbling about what the conspiracy actually was.
So yeah, what do you think happened?
I know what didn't happen.
Okay.
Because it's really simple, just from the laws of physics. In like simple things, dudes demonstrate there was not planes smashing into that building and frickin' exploding. That could not have possibly been happened.
I've never known a building to fall down. Sorry, Indio. I've never known a building to fall down because the ones next to it apparently got hit by planes. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that is flip sake. That is awful.
Awfully suspect. I'm lonely and just committed suicide. Did Building 7 get lonely and commit suicide, bro?
What's the official explanation for why Building 7 fell?
Fire. External damage.
Good lord. That's the official story.
But it fell in the same way that the other two did. All right.
Interesting thing about those buildings that have fallen down is that event, fires knocking down concrete, steel girder buildings, has only happened 3 times in history. And you wouldn't believe it, all 3 of them happened within a very short amount of time.
Yeah. You asked Indio if he believed in any other conspiracy theories, right? The whole world is a conspiracy theory, dude. Everything.
I didn't, by the way. It was the other guy.
Oh, sorry.
It was me. It was me.
He had other ideas, to be honest. He didn't say conspiracy theory specifically.
But yeah, because I've just said like other ideas that are known, like that you ask someone on the street and he tells you, no, it's not what I believe in, or she tells you that, bro, it's like not even true or something.
Yeah. So I don't like that you're like sticking flat Earth in that. I told you we just observed the Earth is flat, and
I told you that it's my first time. This
yeah. I know. Yeah. Like this is a common thing where people think that we have like some belief, but because they never really thought about it, like, why did everybody in the past think the Earth was flat? Oh, because that's what they saw. Well, I see the same thing they saw. Okay, the only difference between them and me is I got a bunch of people around me thinking the Earth is a ball. That's the only difference.
Yeah,
There's
when it
TV
comes
sets
to
now,
this, yeah.
in movies,
Yeah.
in picture books, and that's the only difference. But like, I just observe the Earth the way it is, and like I said before, there's people that say, "Hey, you can't just naively look at the Earth and go, hey, it looks flat, therefore it is flat." We have looked into the sky with our telescopes, and we figured out that though it looks flat, we're actually on a giant ball. That's fucking idiotic. I'm just sorry to get like upset about it. It's just dumb.
That's fun. It's kind of funny.
Well, that's the. I mean, we've been debating this topic for like 10 years. It always comes down to like, you know, oh, you flat Earth, to buy a telescope. Okay, I bought a telescope. Now what? Can you see the moon?
Yeah,
We're
that is
talking about
actually the
Earth.
number one. In 10 years, it will be the number one. The number one evidence of the globe is looking away from the Earth. Earth is a globe when you look away from it. Like, you gotta look in the TV, not to the Earth. Just don't look at the Earth. Look at something else. That's the best
Yeah,
evidence.
because it's weird because like you're internal on the Earth, so how are you gonna like judge the object when you're on the object? You have to look at the object's effect on other things, which is, for example, the moon. Like the moon, the Earth, the spherical Earth has an effect on the shadow of the moon.
No,
which is why.
No. Even if you're going to say that the Earth is like the moon, you still have to prove that the Earth is like the moon. You can't just say that the Earth is like the moon because the moon exists.
No, I meant like you have to look at the objects. You have to look if you're on the object.
How do you know Earth is an object in the first place?
You look at the Earth, don't you?
Because
if you want to know what the Earth is, you definitely look at the thing that you want to know about.
Because I can touch it, that's why.
Yeah, cool. So we look at the Earth to figure out what the Earth is. We can look at the moon to maybe figure out what the moon is.
Okay, but another valid way of looking at it is to look at the moon and see spherical shadows. That's one of the, I think, one of the simplest observations of why.
So the moon's flat then.
The moon's flat? What? No.
Yeah, because if you're going to have perfect shadows created by objects and you get the true representation of that object, let's say a sphere, it's going to have a perfectly rounded shadow. You're only going to cast that shadow on a flat surface. If the surface is distorted like a sphere, then so will the shadow be. So for your example to work, the moon must be flat.
We gotta. Have you
ever created shadow puppets before?
I have. They're fun.
Cool. Try and do that on a distorted surface and note how your shadow is distorted by consequence of the surface.
You know, eclipses make the moon turn red. How do you know that's a shadow? Shadows aren't red.
I don't know how eclipses work, or that the blood moon. I don't know how the blood moon works.
Yeah, but you see, you need to think. You need to think about your shadow example.
Is the moon the only
you need a flat moon for that, dude.
I don't think the GIF on shadows is fair because we're looking at the moon substitute at an angle, which would make the shadow look not proper.
What? It's a curved surface. It's a sphere.
Like,
As the shadow passes over that curved surface.
I can see a curved. I can see a curved shadow on the moon.
He's going to talk through me because he's getting upset about his moon shadow.
Oh wait, my bad. I was talking to you. That's my bad.
That's fine. As I was saying, as the shadow passes over the curved surface, you'll notice how it continually distorts. I.e., you can't have a true representation of a object shadow on a curved surface. It won't be a true representation because the surface will distort it, right?
Not so like insanely that you wouldn't be able to not so insanely. There could be a slight distortion, but it wouldn't be like an insane.
It's Really? I ask you to go and do this. Go and get a flashlight and some balls. See what shadows you create.
Okay,
what you will create, I'll give it away for you. As you make the shadow move across the object, you'll create what's known as a sine wave. That looks like an S. As the Earth an S.
Nice. Okay, I see.
That was
I
kind of
see.
rude, Jedi. Ask him the guy to get some balls. Come on, bro. Like,
I see.
So we can tell you the reason it makes an S is because what'll happen is the shadow, the edge of the shadow will cross the center of the sphere, right? The center, like say the dividing line of which way the shadow is being projected, and one side of that curves one way down, and the other side of it curves the other way down. As the shadow crosses this, its orientation of the curve changes. It'll look like an S, basically.
Okay. Word salad objections. Blue Jumper, how about you mic up, and how about you try and refute or talk?
Mic up, like better microphone, you mean?
No, mic up as in get on the mic, bro. Start talking.
Yeah.
Instead of typing.
He's getting upset.
Instead of going clack, clack, clack on your keyboard, go talk on the mic.
well, listen, he's allowed to type. Just mute yourself so we don't hear the background noise, and that's it. You're allowed to type whatever you're gonna type, and then speak to us in the VC if you want. It's okay.
Never mind. Okay. Okay, I see the GIFs provided.
It's just something that you can try and recreate yourself.
I have. What is this trying to show? What is that one trying to show? The top.
What straight lines can be distorted by curved surfaces when they cast a shadow on them.
The mostly black one.
What do you think that's trying to represent, dude?
Have a look at the
know that
shadow
you can
on the little
concede.
white ball in the background.
My bad. But what they told you, you can concede that seeing this phenomena of the moon being opaque, that doesn't prove the globe. You can concede that, though. The point that he's giving you that if it was a sphere, you wouldn't see this round shadow like you're saying. What do you think about that? That was a direct reply to you saying we see a shadow on the moon that looks round, therefore the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Why isn't like flat Earth popular?
Wait. We still ask that. Hold that question. Okay. Let the other guy reply to what Jada told him about what will happen on the surface, depending on the surface orientation, if it was flat or a sphere. What do you say about that? What will happen to the shadow?
Pretty much. I actually can't think of anything to say because I think I'm getting tired. It's like 9:45.
Quarter to 10.
So you're gonna go to sleep? Go ahead.
To be fair, this topic.
It's Friday.
My bedtime's in like an hour.
Okay, so this topic is very thick. It covers like actually a lot of different things. It covers history, sociology, psychology, science, measurement. It covers parasites, brain worms. It covers everything. It covers a lot of things. So it will mentally exhaust you in the beginning because a lot of these things they're hard. They're not hard to comprehend. They are in a way, especially when you're just talking about it. If we had like whiteboards and diagrams, it'd be easier to show you. But don't feel bad. It is mentally exhausting to deal with this topic. We're just used to it. So I mean,
me it's hard because you guys are throwing out literally everything I've been taught.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, you've been taught the wrong thing. I mean, but the people, to be fair, the people that taught you, they didn't know either.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They got the textbook. They said, teach the kids this. And they're like, okay, just give me money.
They weren't even given enough money. Have you seen teacher salaries?
Oh, yeah.
It's a living.
Have you seen teachers?
Yeah.
Have you seen teachers?
It's a living. It pays bills. People just go to it as a job of work. People like this
Honestly,
think they're benefiting the
I am a
community.
teacher, by the way.
And of course.
Oh, yeah.
So you think that you're benefiting your community, educating the younger and next generation, right?
I'm educating them about English. I don't have anything in common with
Whatever
science.
the subject, it's beneficial. You have some kind of pride in your work, I would hope. I would hope some teachers at least do. Right? There's no malice
I
involved,
do
is there?
I teach them like necessary stuff, like how to speak English, how to write English. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine.
In a public school, or just like?
Yeah, in a public school.
Yeah. Can you just teach them whatever you want?
No, I have like a textbook, and there's like present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous.
Yeah, it's like, say you open the textbook one day and it said, teach the kids the earth is a globe. Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't. But they don't tell me to do this.
Yeah, look, you're an English teacher, of course not. But the science teachers or the other classes, they're told, teach the kids the earth is a globe, and they just do that. They don't know that. They don't fact check the textbook and say, I refuse to teach this. The textbook's wrong. They don't do that, right? So, like they just believe it. Everybody believes it's just like a collective thing, like believing in Santa Claus or something. Everyone just believes it because they think everybody else believes it.
Okay, cool.
But we have a flat earther. She's a teacher. She's a school teacher, Dandelion. She's not in here right now, but like, if you come back, maybe you'll be able to talk to her, and you guys can like compare notes of teaching brats. What
Do you
age
think there are any like teachers? Sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I just want to. What age do you teach?
Primary school, so like young learners. I mean, age, yeah. So specifically like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 13 okay, 13, up to 13.
Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. You get to teach them English. That's freaking great. I wish.
Primary school, 13.
Yeah, in my country. In my country, up to 14. Up to 14, there's the primary school.
Okay, that's cool. What country?
Poland. I live in Poland.
Okay.
There was the like change in education, and they like made the primary school longer, and like they like deleted the middle school.
Interesting. Okay.
That's funny because like where I live, they added a middle school about 3 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. Like the reforms, they are just like politically connected. They have nothing with education. They are just like the new government has to change something to prove something. Yeah.
You got it. That's exactly what they did here. New mayor. Oh, I'm doing something. We're gonna make a middle school. Not knowing, right, that there used to be middle schools here where I live, like 40 years ago, and then they got rid of them. Then 40 years later, they just back. Like, make up your goddamn mind.
Yeah, in Poland it was like this: that they first have introduced middle school, then they deleted them, then again middle schools, and now they deleted them.
I think that's weird that you're like in a foreign country, and that's like the exact same thing they did here.
Where are you from?
Maybe we just keep. I'm in Cambridge, Massachusetts. In Boston, in America.
Ah, okay.
Where Boston is. I'm sure you heard of Boston.
Yeah, I heard of Boston Tea. Yeah, that they sank the ship with.
Have you heard of Harvard? Have you heard of Harvard University?
Yeah, I know. That's like
that's
one of the best universities.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, in Cambridge.
Okay.
So all the Harvard kids are right down the street being idiots because they're dumb as. Don't ever let anybody convince you that Harvard kids are smart. They're as fucking dumb as rocks, bro.
But like Mark Zuckerberg is like Harvard student from.
No, he quit Harvard because he was smart.
Okay.
Or did he get kicked out? I don't know. He either got kicked out or he quit.
Yeah, quit Harvard.
She quit. I think there are other like smart kids from Harvard, like like billionaires. There's
Harvard,
one other billionaire from
Harvard
Harvard.
is kind of like a place to do like networking, really. So you get an education, you meet people, and like you have this like Harvard degree network of people that get into places of political power and on boards of directors and an industry, and you're basically forming like I don't know what type of network you would call it, a social network, not in the sense of social media, but it's basically like a boys club, social network. That's kind of what people go to Harvard for. It's not really for the education. It's more like it's not what you know, it's who you know type deal.
That's what you know, not who you know. Okay, I get this. But Facebook is real, and they programmed it, so
Yeah,
it involved a lot of work probably to program this.
Zuckerberg didn't do the work. I mean, I don't want to get in the controversy of Zuckerberg. I'm not saying there aren't smart people at Harvard. There are, but they're not. They're pretty fucking dumb too, man. There's a lot of dumbass ones. Take my word for it. You got to live here and see it for yourself. I mean, I can tell you, but you just got to see it for yourself. Like the people that live here make fun of them because they're so like intellectual, yet they're idiots, right?
Intellectual, yet they're idiots. So you mean that they know the like theories, but they don't trust their senses, as you said, yeah?
More like they can't walk and chew bubble gum. They know their theories, but have trouble tying their sneakers.
Okay, yeah, you mean this? Okay, yeah, okay.
Which is a joke here, because MIT is here too. So
yeah.
When you see,
I have a friend in Poland who finished this MIT, but he's like old. He's like 60-year-old, so he finished this MIT like a long time ago.
Yeah, my stepfather graduated from MIT in '76. Anyway, this is a joke here. It goes like this: if you go to the grocery store, right, and you got 10 items or less in line, and you see someone with 20 items in it, you say, "Are you from MIT and can't count, or are you from Harvard and can't read?" And that's like a joke here, like that everyone knows, because that's kind of like they're just like their heads are in the clouds, you know. Obviously, they're young kids and they don't have a lot of life experience. But I've met some people in the degree programs, quite a few people, as a matter of fact, because I have a friend who rents to them. So I've met some like economists, mathematicians, I think there's computer science, one astronomer. Because people come here to get their graduate degree, PhD. They do postdocs here. Just occasionally you meet some of them. Anyway, that's way off topic. DJ, you live in here?
It's Sunday somewhere in the world, India.
Korea. Oh God.
Might be Sunday in Poland.
Gemsy over here lives on he goes on the side of Boston where there's the actual intelligent people. That if there's like a tidal wave, they'd actually survive. Like everyone would die in Cambridge, literally everyone. They'd sit there and watch it.
You ever meet Richie?
Richie from Boston.
Oh, Richie from Boston. He doesn't actually live in Boston. He lives in Dedham or something. Though his mother lives in East Boston because he's done streams from his house, and I know exactly where he is when he's doing that shit.
Okay, so he's not Richie at Boston. He's Richie from Boston. I get it now.
Yeah, Richie from Boston is not. He's from Boston, but he's not in.
But he's
Boston.
not in Boston, yeah, or at.
But his mother. But his mother's in Boston, so.
I'm gonna have to go dig some of his videos to see if I see him in East Boston then. You mentioned something about people in Cambridge that they all died. I'm sorry, Indio, I couldn't get the joke.
No, if there was a tidal wave, they would all die. All the MIT kids would be like, well, there's no tectonic plate out there in the Atlantic Ocean. That can't be a tidal wave. That's an illusion. And all the Harvard people would be like just taking pictures and selfies and shit with the tidal wave about to kill them. Like, so everyone here would die.
For science?
For oblivion, because they're just oblivious to reality. I know how East Boston, like, I know there's a lot of Spanish people in East Boston and like working class. So it's like, you know, they actually interact with the real world and shit. Yeah. As opposed to out here where they're just in fantasy land all the time.
Earth, where is your proof everywhere? What else was it? Oh yeah, Brian Cox has something not so friendly to say about you. He says to disprove a flat earther, he would hit you over the head with Newton's Principia.
Well, obviously he did.
What?
Obviously he didn't read it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read what he says in the video. Imagine every time you get on a plane and fly somewhere, then the person who's in charge of the plane is part of a vast conspiracy that's trying to deceive you. And imagine that. How nervous would you be on the plane if the people that are flying it are actually just keeping you in the dark about the real nature of reality? How does that make you feel? You never get on a plane again. That would be great, because then when I go on a holiday, I'd never bump into a flat earther because they don't travel. Funny guy.
That's stupid.
Craziest. The fuck.
Brian Cox also said in an interview on an Australian daytime show, said that no one ever actually believed the Earth was flat ever.
Yeah, that's ridiculous as well.
Okay, that's
he
just
did say that.
His 3 hours worth of interviews with pilots from commercial level, military level, in the side chat. Who are flat earthers? Ouch.
Let's play. I actually want to play this. Let's play Spot the Straw Man.
Toasty, do you think like all of your ancestors were like conspiracy theories? You know, like the Mayans and the Egyptians, like all of those people that had their cosmologies, all the Hebrews, that were all conspiracy theories?
Not really, no. Also, actually check this, because I want to know if I get these right, then I know what a straw man is. So actually check this. I'm gonna type them.
Rovers just discard all of the other civilizations of the past. They just call them dumb. That's how I grew up. They were telling me, yeah, your ancestors are dumb. That's why they didn't know.
Didn't Christopher Columbus's crew fear that they were going to sail off the edge of the Earth?
There you go. More dumb.
But I think Brian Cox needs to study history. Start with that bit of bullshit as well.
Christopher Columbus was dumb as well, but he just got lucky.
He was actually a tiny earther. He thought it was a much smaller globe.
Smaller, yeah, that's a good one.
It's a Tina Turner tiny earther.
Tiny earther.
Yeah.
It's a tiny earther.
I only got 3. I can't spot 5.
Look, you've done to me now, Jedi. I'm just starting to think, tiny earth, refraction for me.
Yep, refraction for money. Refraction for Earth curve. You can be what I want you to be. I won't sing again this year, don't worry.
Does anybody take Hollow Earth?
The pilots being part of the conspiracy theory, globe Earth is meant to deceive us. Flat Earthers wouldn't fly. These are all ad hominems.
Those are the three.
Pilots being part of the conspiracy, that's fucking stupid. I mean, you could say that's I don't think you could. It's bad argumentation anyway.
He's strawmanning pilots.
Yeah.
What the hell do they know? They fly over a flat plane, man.
Never trust.
Look, even globe earthers, even people that oppose say pilots don't have to adjust their airplane for the curvature of the Earth because it curves at such a slow rate. So how would they know if the Earth is a globe or not? You can't see the curve from an airplane, so it can't be that. So how would they know?
Well, just follow the globe logic. You know they know because they don't know. You know it's curving because it's not curving. You know it's moving because it's not moving. That's the globe.
You know it's real because it looks so fake.
Yeah.
Legends of Islam series. What is this?
You can tell it makes sense because it's complete nonsense.
Bro, London? I'm not going to London for this. Damn, that's what Brian Cox used to look like? It's majestic.
He used to be in a pop group in the early 90s in England or Great Britain called D-Ream. They were shit.
Unfortunate. Fall off. I don't know. I don't even know. Not even fall off.
But think about this, right? This is Brian Cox. This is a science communicator that appears on national and international televisions and podcasts and streams all across the world, and everybody wants to ask him his opinions about the universe and everything, right? When confronted with a flat earth argument, that was his response. Not something that could easily be demonstrated or practically done by you, the individual, to prove that the flat earther was wrong. Just some thinly veiled attack. It's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Actually,
remember earlier? I was saying that the only way to like turn someone into a flat earther is to do it yourself. Do you remember what the exception was? Is to hear people that oppose flat Earth actually speak in the dumb shit they say. That's what also makes flat earthers.
Yeah,
because they expect to have a good answer, right? Like, yeah, there's obviously a good answer because Earth's a globe. That's obvious. So the scientist has a good answer, and then they say stuff like that. You're like, hold on, that don't make sense. Let me look into this more. And then they find out that's all there is. It's just dumb frickin' answers.
His degree's actually fake. I swear, man. Why can't people just stop being fake for a second?
Well, have you ever heard the magic speed?
What?
The magic speed.
What's the magic speed?
The magic speed is why all the craters on the moon are round.
The magic, bro. What?
Yeah, this is what PhD astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson said when asked, "Why are all the craters on the moon round and why aren't some like oblong because the meteor hit it at an angle or something?"
Oh right,
he said it's because there's a magic speed. That's his words that the meteors travel at, which always make a perfect circle.
Okay, that could just be easily explained as him trying to do some sort of just easy to digest analogy. So he just calls it magic speed, as a substitute,
Well, here's another thing he said for 4 decades that if you weigh something on the North Pole and then go to the equator, it weighs less.
Yeah, because the Earth bulges out at the equator, which means like slightly less gravity, like slightly, but it would weigh less
the
because of that,
rotation of
wouldn't it?
the Earth, right? And there's a centrifugal force throwing the thing off, right?
Yeah.
So it weighs
Yeah.
less than the equator. Well,
Yeah.
he's recently recanted that and said, well, because there's a bulge, there's more mass at the equator, so then there's more gravity, and it exactly cancels out the rotational centrifugal force. So after fucking saying bullshit for 4 decades, he's retracted it. So people will still parrot this nonsense. Things way west at the equator than at the poles. Well, they've updated and revised the lore. That's what we call it. We call it like space lore. It's like they download the DLC and then they update it. And the shit they were saying before is now not true. And the stuff they're saying now is true.
Yeah, I can see that's frustrating.
Yeah, we can point like there's example after example after example. We can run through all the things that we've noticed of things they've changed, right? That like were true.
So
there you go.
Start listing off. The atmosphere used to be just around the Earth. Now the atmosphere encompasses the Moon also. That changed about 7 years. There's loads of them.
Yeah, did you know the Moon is now inside Earth's atmosphere?
No, what did someone say that? Who said this?
ESA, European Space Agency.
Why would they say this?
Because the Moon's inside. Why would they say it? Because that's what they get paid to do, is say stupid shit.
Yeah, it's
People
called
go, oh my God.
ads and click. You know, they just say stuff and people click on it, and you know, that kind of stuff. Just making stuff up. People eat it up.
Atmosphere stretches out to the moon and beyond. Okay, that's kind of stupid.
Makes perfect sense.
Technically, yeah, see, space is fake. No one could have possibly gone to space because they were always inside the Earth's atmosphere.
It makes perfect nonsense. I mean...
I
mean, in reality, let's say the statement, Indio. Let's say the statement, right? I'm just saying that within reality, we have the Earth system and whatever the sun and the moons are. If the statement itself, I will say, if we label whatever this medium is in atmos or air, and I say the moon is in this medium or the atmos, right? That's what they're basically saying in reality, but they're adding the globe on top of that, so that's where it all falls apart. Because if you were making an argument, go ahead. My bad. I was gonna expand on that, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, is this just a theory, the extension of Earth's atmosphere, or is it like an actual thing they're proposing as fact?
That's the thing they're proposing as fact. They've changed the narrative.
Okay.
How do you tell the difference?
How do you tell the difference? I mean, they would say something like I theorize or something. I don't know.
They never say that. They just say it as if it's a fact.
Yeah, even with gravity, the gravity is a theory. Everyone agrees it's a theory, but they do just say stuff.
Do you think the core of the Earth is? Do you think the core of the Earth is a theory?
I thought that was fact.
Well, how would they have demonstrated that to be a fact?
Because I mean, we could, for flip's sake.
Go there.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm not asking. Listen, I could ask you how they did it, but I'm asking, like, how could you do it, even hypothetically?
Even hypothetically, I mean.
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth, like the book. Is that what we're doing?
Again, I'd say like because of the effects of it, like the magnetic, the magnetism and other stuff. But then you can explain that by another thing. That's not a molten core, so it's not fact. It's still a theory.
So how the hell would you create magnetism with molten metal in the first place?
I don't know, man. It moves around. For flip's sake, I don't know. Ask my professor.
Switch it so you can stir it and it will have a cohesive electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
No. No.
Okay. What is this? Super-ionic iron alloys and their seismic velocities. The image isn't even related to the article. Who is this? PubMed? Why is PubMed doing an astronomy internal Earth paper?
Well, I just want to point out is that we still didn't get the methodology for proving this fact. Even what you said, that would just be an inference, and it wouldn't actually prove it because you could have alternate explanations, right? So
yeah,
it's not even provable unless you could journey to the center of the Earth and take a sample of the core. That would be the only way to actually prove it.
Wait, so how do you get things as fact then? Like objective fact?
I mean, objective fact is experience.
Yeah.
There's some things we can't know, and there's some things we can't know. Okay, you have to accept that. There's some things we can't know, and we're actually never going to know. We're never going to know the composition of a star for a fact.
Okay, I mean, no.
How would you know it for a fact? You'd have to actually go there and take a sample.
Yeah, because we have so we have samples on Earth of like what this material does at a certain temperature and what like spectrum it gives out. We take the spectrum from the star, analyze it, and compare it. And like, what other explanation do you have that could fit so concisely and so nicely?
Okay, here's my other explanation: magic sugar plum fairies.
Magic, yeah, okay. You go ahead and
hold on, I got the same evidence you do.
Okay,
we have the same evidence. The evidence for my sugar plum fairies is the same as your evidence for whatever hydrogen fusion.
Go analyze the spectrum from a magic sugar plum fairy if you can even prove that exists.
Again, it perfectly matches the star. That's what I'm predicting.
You couldn't tell them apart.
I'll just affirm the concept. So this is the thing. You're using a logical fallacy. This is the problem. Is that this encompasses the logical fallacy of affirming the consequent. Okay, if hydrogen plasma star, then certain spectra, therefore hydrogen plasma star. You understand? This affirms the consequent. To actually prove it, you would need an actual sample so that you can have the material and test its composition. That'd be the only way to actually prove it. Until then, you never know. No matter how much you convince yourself, all that is a statement about your credulity. It's not really a statement about what you know.
Is that actually not enough to see the exact same effect from a cause that you know? Like, I know this cause makes this effect, and to see that
something that you can't verify, especially up there in the sky, where we say there's four states of matter, or sorry, four states of matter, right? Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma.
There's more.
Up there in the sky, it could be more states of matter. You could have you could have the same elements in different phases, giving you the same color spectrum. You wouldn't know until you went there, though.
Right. Okay.
And it's also not that simple. The evaluations of the spectrum are probabilistic because you have things like Doppler line broadening, Raman scattering, and all these other things which shift and move and obscure the actual spectrum. So they infer a spectrum from how they think through some theory-laden filter, basically. None of this stuff is as straightforward as people think. It's all theory-laden.
People still argue today about the solar spectrum, right, and what it actually shows. Some people say, that shows plasma gas, at high temperatures. Other people say, no, it's a metallic liquid. So even people today argue about what the sun's made of. We just get taught a narrative, right? It's a gaseous plasma fucking hot thing. But in the deep realms of science, as I use quotation marks, it's still argued, mate. They don't really know. There's competing theories. You just get the one that's currently popular. I can go and get you some other ones if you want. They're not hard to find. But why would you have alternative theories if this was already proven true? It's not a proven fact, right? So that's why there are alternative theories.
Okay. I also just because I just want to mention this, there is another state of matter. I think it's called a Bose-Einstein condensate. It comes after plasma.
There's different phases depending on temperature and pressure differentials and all types of stuff. Even like I said, like metallic liquids and so on, like really like dense hydrogen that's so hot it's turned into a metallic liquid. I can go and find you stuff on that, like research papers and shit. There's loads of them, dude. That's why I said there are for us here on Earth primarily 4 states of matter. Really, when you really start fiddling around with stuff and change the variables to the nth degree, and stuff starts changing. It's not straightforward, dude. But yeah, like Injo said, you'd have to go there anyway. Whatever your idea is, fanciful or not, with all the evidence that you think you can get, can't prove it till you go there. That's why they want to send rockets and stuff to Mars and shit, right? Because we can look at it, but until we go and send a rocket there with a control robot that's going to go and dig up the soil and we can bring it back, then we'll have a better understanding when we can bring the Mars rocks back, like we did with the moon rocks, right? We needed the rocks to confirm our theories. That's how the narrative goes, dude.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, I mean, the moral of the story is there's a lot of stuff we're told people know that they actually don't know. And, you know, it's hard to sell, I don't know. As far as like grant money or getting a job, like, hey, dude, what's this? Oh, I don't know. Oh, you're hired. It doesn't work that way. So you got to claim knowledge when you don't actually know anything. And people feel better when they think, you know, that the so-called authorities or the people that they think are in the know something. They don't know. They just say they know, and they don't know. I mean, think about it. If you just think about it, just from like even like from a probabilistic idea, how many theories from 500 years ago are currently believed? Not very many. I would say only the globe theory and Archimedes' principle are probably the only 2 left. And in 500 years from now, how many of the theories that people think we know are actually going to hold as true in 500 years? Probably none.
How about those galaxies that spin in the opposite direction of rotation? What do you mean? What relative to us? What do you mean backwards?
You see the dust trailing off of those outer arms?
Yes.
That dust is leading the direction of the rotation. So it's like water going down a whirlpool, you know, going down a sink, a little whirlpool, but but draining like it's going outwards almost, like it's just the opposite direction of what you would expect.
So, expect because of what? Like assumption.
Do you see that those outer trailing arms and the dust that's trailing off of them? That dust is leading the direction of the rotation.
Yeah, okay. And it's spinning opposite from the dust the direction would indicate.
Right.
Yeah, because that circle, right, that has a longer arc length, right? So it should trail. If it's all going at the same velocity, right? The outer edge should trail.
Right. The outer edge is going faster than the inner limbs. It's all moving as one unit, like spinning a flower in your hand, like the outer, or like a clock, the minute and hour hands on a clock. The outer point of the minute hand is going, you know, it's faster than towards the center.
Okay.
Which is pretty damn
to be
odd.
fair, well, hold on. To be fair, they don't actually see it spinning, obviously. they infer a spinning motion because of redshift measurements, Doppler shift measurements. So they don't actually see an actual motion. They just say, hey, this one's redshifted, this must be going this way. This one's blue shifted, it must be going that way. But when they do this, and then they take all this redshift data and they extrapolate velocities from it, it's just as Travis said. It's going in the wrong direction.
And then you have the anomalous redshift, where you have two galaxies next to each other that have connecting arms. And then the redshift on one galaxy will show that it is like hundreds of light years further away than the galaxy it is connected to, which is another impossible nonsense. It'll show the one galaxy is hundreds of light years behind it, but they're connected via the same luminous arms.
Okay.
So to tie this back into like this topic, you know, all these distances and speeds and velocities, they all come from the radius value that's never been measured. Right? The entire cosmic distance ladder is built off the Earth radius value, and no one's ever measured this radius value. So it's basically like a fucking Jenga tower, except for there's nothing at the bottom of the Jenga tower. It's just like floating in the air.
I'm sorry, what's based off the radius value of the Earth?
The cosmic distance ladder. So
I thought that was.
distance,
I thought they used astronomical units.
Yeah, where'd they get that?
The distance from the sun to the Earth, not the radius. Not the
Yeah,
radius.
yeah.
Of the
Where
Earth.
did they? Yeah, they got that from the radius of the Earth.
Okay then, sure.
Because no, that's not sure. They did because
No. When I say sure, I mean like I believe you. Like I'll just believe you.
I can tell you how they did it.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So the first method was there was a guy named Christian Huygens that used numerology and mysticism, and this is the official story. No, I'm dead serious. This is the official story. This isn't some shit I made up. He used it to determine that Venus was the same size as Earth, and used Venus's radius, and then watched Venus transit the sun. Okay, and so if Venus is the size of Earth, then it's going to have a certain angular size. With this angular size, you can calculate the distance, and from that distance, time the transit of the sun, time the transit of Venus across the sun, and then now you have the sun's angular size from that point, right? And then you can calculate its distance based upon the timing.
I assume we went back and revised that number after the Astronic mysticism and after the Astronic mysticism incident. I assume we revised that number of the Earth's radius.
And then there was the other one, the Cassini method, which was they used the proper motion of Mars. And proper motion is Mars isn't actually where you see it. It's where you think it is based upon your model of an orbit, right? It's not actually there. And based upon this difference, they calculate the distance to the sun. So and then there's the other method where you watch Venus transit the sun from two different locations, presuppose the radius, calculate the distance between the 2 points, then calculate a chord distance, and then triangulate the sun using this method of how high Venus is, the difference in height from one observation point and another, based upon what you think the distance is. And then there's the other method. So now, the distance to the sun, what you might not have known, has changed something like 20 times in the last 150 years. So
you sound fed up with this one.
So what the whole point is that they never measured the radius of the Earth. The entire cosmic distance ladder is based upon the first rung, which has never been actually demonstrated. It's a Jenga tower floating in the air. It's not resting on anything.
You need a sphere Earth. You don't have one. Everything else falls down after that.
You don't believe in gravity, Jedi? Nothing falls. Why don't things just float away on the flat Earth? Why not? It's floating right now. Well, I mean, we hear a bunch of stupid shit. Like, you guys don't believe in gravity. Why does everything just not float away? We hear this from people that think they golfed on the moon and rode around in a dune buggy.
No curve, no rotation, no planet, no Big Bang.
Here's a question. How long was Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 supposed to have lasted? Was it like maybe 20 years?
Okay.
They're not long.
Yeah.
And the fact that that thing's still going is just magnificent masterminds of human construction and engineering, right?
I mean,
it's lesser than power than the Game Boy has managed to last this long in regions we're told are extremely dangerous. Without being rude, how old are you? 20s, something like that?
Have 18.
18.
Yes.
I guess because I'm going to be fucking hell. I'm going to be 50 this year. Right? With experience, you'll notice the same patterns repeated.
Shut up,
the
Junior.
Same kind. What?
50. That's
I said, shut
impressive.
up, Junior.
It's impressive.
You're younger than me, bro. You whippersnapper.
But the experience is there, which is what I'm trying to point out, right? Over like 40, 50, 60 years, whatever Joe is 220, then you notice these patterns. You notice the game that's being played. The common one that gets brought up is like space travel all of the time, right? Moon landings, and eventually we're going to have, hotels on Mars and, moon bases and all of this shit. All right, we were told this in the 70s and the 80s, and again in the 90s, and again in the early 2000s, then in the teens, and now we're being told it again, and I guarantee you we'll be told the same fucking thing in the 30s. This can has been kicked down the road so many times. I guess only experiencing it through your life is, how you can be sure that this is happening instead of like secondhand stories from us telling you that it is. But maybe you should look back into the history of like exploration of space. They probably won't tell you the amount of times that they wanted to tell you that there's going to be hotels on the moon, for example. But I've been trying to do this shit for ages and never really got anywhere. What have we got now? We've got just about Katy Perry going up to the edge of space and telling us that she sees a curve. That's all we've got.
Landing 2 miles away from where she took off.
Yeah.
Maybe she went really, really, really high up. Just really high up.
That's a Snoop Dogg fallacy. Very, very high up.
Well, I mean, it's definitely plausible that Katy Perry rode a giant rocket that looked like a penis. That's normal. That's just like her opening act.
I thought that was one of her music videos.
Yeah, exactly.
You're 18 years old, dude. You got, without being disrespectful to you, but you should probably know this yourself. You've got a lot to learn. I figured out about 10 years ago that most of the stuff that I thought that I knew, I definitely didn't. I've got more questions now than I had, say, 10 years ago. Right? So
You're not going to know everything at the moment, but I would suggest, and we would suggest, that at least critically think about the information that you're fed, especially if it's repeated over and over and over again. Propaganda exists, mate. You must be aware of that, right?
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
Yeah. Sales techniques, right?
Yep.
Advertising. It's all the same fucking game, dude.
And do you know how they sell you something you don't want? Are you familiar with Edward Bernays?
Nope.
Not you, Jedi, the other guy. He's the father of modern advertising. He's a grandson of Sigmund Freud.
They make you think you need. They make you think you need it, or they give you like a certain time.
Yeah, but,
you only
how?
You only have 10 hours. You only have 10 hours to take the deal, and they put like a fake counter, fake time.
No,
fake timer.
What they do is they sell an identity. So this is how so I'll give you an example. This is a good example I heard. If I said Nike Sneakers is going to start a hotel, it's easy to imagine what that hotel would look like, right?
Yeah, NX.
Yeah. Okay. If I said Hilton Hotels is going to start a sneaker company, you have no idea what those sneakers are going to look like.
Yep.
Because Nike sells an identity. It's a brand identity, and that's what they sell. They want you to identify with their advertising, right? They typically advertise runners wearing running sneakers, or maybe basketball players, right? They want you to identify with the brand. So like when he helped advertise cigarettes, torches of freedom, they wanted women to identify with being liberated from the yoke of the patriarchy, etc. Right? So the globe Earth is also an identity. Believing in the globe Earth, and people identify with it, which is so hard for us when we talk to them, because it's integrated into their personality as part of their identity. Global warming, global village. I'm a global citizen. Fly around the globe. Global weather. The whole space idea that we're an technologically advanced civilization, and we can solve all these problems because we're so freaking smart, right? And
you are smarter than your ancestors.
Way smarter. They were a bunch of knuckle draggers. Thought they would fall off the edge of the earth, man. That's how stupid they were. When you just go around a big ball, you flip upside down like it's nothing. Upside down people. They don't believe in upside down people. What's wrong with those flat earthers? No, I don't believe in upside down people. Okay, so the point is that the globe is more than just like a scientific, because some scientific idea that's been proven by science. It is an identity at this point. And one of the first things, and this is the last thing I'll say, one of the first things I noticed when I realized the Earth was flat was the amount of times that I would see a globe in a day, right? The actual space propaganda, globe propaganda that's everywhere. And when you think about those people that put those signs up, or advertising, or made a company, or made some TV show where they showed the Earth as a globe, they've never seen the Earth from that point of view. They have no idea if the Earth looks like that, but they're sticking it everywhere, right? I mean, there's going to be a plumbing company called Global Plumbing with a big globe on the side of their vans. Like, why? What the fuck does that got to do with plumbing?
Oh, why? Because they would just want to sell like, oh, we're for everybody, and we can fix any problem.
Yeah, an identity.
Around the Earth.
It's identity. That's right. It's an identity. No, people see you're technologically advanced. That's what they see.
Yeah, as in like we can fix any problem anywhere, like on Earth. Like it's not identity about the globe; it's identity about being good at plumbing.
Yeah, but that's what you should be caring about, was whether they're good at plumbing, not whether they are good at advertising. Right. What I'm saying is they're tuning into a primal identity that people have, right? What do they call a worldview? People have a worldview, right? I'm just and this is where the globe gets into its evil part, right? There's a big bang, there's evolution, there's men, but if I think about my life, it can never have any meaning, because The Earth is just one planet in a trillions of planets, of trillions of stars, and I'm a meaningless speck of dust in an uncaring, naturalistic universe. So it really doesn't matter what I do, to some degree. Just don't get in trouble and arrested, and everything's fine. I can be a degenerate. I can do whatever. There's no God to tell me what I'm doing wrong. This is where it leads to. This is like the dominoes, how the dominoes fall. You got to believe the globe, and then believe to the Big Bang, and then believe the evolution, and then believe the solipsism, right? It's an evolution of human thought that's founded on the identity that people think the Earth is a globe.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
probably blowing your fucking gourd right now. I understand
No.
that. But
I get what you're saying. I get everything you're saying. It just sounds like
there's another part of it. This is a multifaceted thing. So the other part of the identity is Western civilization. Why is Western civilization better than everybody? Oh, they discovered the Earth is a globe first. Eratosthenes stuck some sticks to the ground. They discovered the Earth was a globe. Everybody believed the Earth was a globe. Then we sailed the 7 seas, and then we colonized the world, and we made the world a better place, and ended hunger, and ended slavery. And we only did that because we're smarter than everybody else. And why? Because we
are better than the Russians
first.
and the Chinese because we made it to the moon first.
Yeah, we're better than the Russians because we went to the moon, right? So there's like, this is a multifaceted idea with tentacles that go in every part of society, of Western society. I don't know how it is in other countries, or like not the non-Western world. I'm sure in the Congo they don't believe any of this bullshit that we talk about. But it has permeated Western thought because it's really our claim to fame. Who's the smartest people? Oh, it's Newton. It's Galileo. It's Copernicus. Oh, what did they do? Oh, they discovered the heliocentric model. They discovered that there's gravity that formed the Earth into a ball. So these are who we consider and idolize as the smartest people in the West. Einstein, what did he do? Oh, he talked about space and how there's black holes and yada, 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 right? So there's a foundation here that not just you personally, but the entire Western world in a societal sense, its foundation is on this globe idea. Which is why people get triggered by this topic and don't know why they snap out and get so emotional. They don't even know why they're doing it. Because they're just like, they have Stockholm Syndrome. That's all there is to it. They have Stockholm Syndrome. You know what Stockholm Syndrome is?
Yes, I know what Stockholm Syndrome is.
Are you in Stockholm?
Okay.
Sorry about the rant, dude, but like we talk about this other shit and like yeah, we know the Earth is flat. We can demonstrate that. That's what the reality is outside. But like we beat around the bush of what the real problem is. The real problem is it's an idea that's like a fucking cancer, right? It's a cancer because you have to believe that all of your reality is an illusion, that you can't detect the world as it actually is, and you have to defer to other people that claim, for some reason, that they're smarter than you. Okay, though they may or may not be smarter than you, but you have to defer to them of what reality is. That right there is a fundamental problem, that you're deferring away from your own experience of the world to what other people claim they experienced. And somehow their experience is superior to yours. Right there, you're outsourcing your own intellect, your own mind, your own experience to some fucking stranger that you never met, that may or may not have your interests at heart.
Okay.
You know, flat Earth, it's obviously flat. I mean, we don't even have to, at this point, we don't even consider this a debate. At least in this camp, we don't consider this a debate. The Earth is flat. You can just demonstrate it yourself. We don't have to talk about it. We can just say, hey, man, that's cool. You think the Earth is a globe? Fucking prove it. Go out into the world, go do some measurements and prove it's a globe. And don't nobody ever come back with any measurements proving it's a globe. They just talk about fucking TV shows and what they saw on the screen. That's all that ever happens. So there is no debate. The debate is over. It hasn't been debate in a long time.
Okay.
It's more like, what are the consequences? What are the consequences of this idea? And what are they doing to the society? Now, I already told you, I'm not running around. I'm not going to go protest in front of the ocean and say, flat, not curved with a sign, right? Ocean's flat, not curved. Everybody at the beach is like, yeah, duh. Obviously it's flat, right? But then some scientists will walk out to the beach and go, don't listen to this fucking guy. He's crazy. That ocean only looks flat. You're like a tiny ant on the beach ball. Don't listen to him. So I'm not doing that. I got better things to do in my life.
What's the
So
pilot
you
for
have...
Island?
Good lord.
You want to go down to the beach and protest with me? We're going to protest at the ocean's flat.
Okay, that's a
Lies,
bit...
ocean's flat. We're going to go protest. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, people ask us, what are you guys going to do about the earth being flat? Maybe, when do you think people are going to know? They know now. They just don't believe what they know. Everybody knows the earth is flat. Some people don't believe it. They don't believe their own eyes, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. People don't believe their own eyes.
The globe, the subliminal messaging comment, that's a bit of an overreaction. Not just because, like, yeah, the modern world believes that the globe is like the the truth. So obviously it's gonna be everywhere because it's just taken as a concrete fact. It's not like not every recurring thing is subliminal messaging.
There's a good word for this. Prolification. So it's an idea that grows, right? So when a child goes to school and the teacher asks them to paint the universe or do a little picture, and they're going to draw what the idea that's already in their head from the previous class where they were talking about geography and the Earth being a ball. So the artist will build upon these ideas. The author will write about these ideas, right? And we can look back in history into certain authors who've speculated about what the sky is about. And these ideas keep growing until you get to like the 50s and the 60s, where we've got films and movies starting to develop and comic books, all based on these ideas. But the idea is planted. The subliminal programming is just a consequence of that seed that's been planted. You find it everywhere, though, like Indio says. You'll find it in history before people even went to space. Like, what is it? The Universal Pictures logo or Universal Studios, which is just a globe Earth. I think that came out in the 1920s, something, maybe just before or just after, but well before we went to space to confirm any idea that the Earth was a ball. Right?
Oh,
this
hold on,
idea
dude. What
was
about the first movie? The very first movie is called A Trip to the Moon. It's by French. It's a silent movie. So there's a bunch of wizards, and because they're like, movies were new, so they're doing it like on a stage that people do acting on. So there's a dividing wall. They're wizards. They're all dressed in wizard stuff. They walk through a door, go to the other side, and they're in lab coats. And they take a rocket and they launch it to the moon. And the guy goes up there, does whatever. And then to get back to Earth, he just jumps off the moon and lands on Earth. Right? So this is the very first film. Was about a rocket going to the moon. Kepler wrote a book about a witch taking him to the moon. Well, not him personally, because that would be heresy. So it's supposed to be a work of fiction. There's also another guy. I think I don't know if it's Trajan, in 100 AD wrote a book called A True Story about someone going to the moon and like this they considered the sun a planet. They didn't consider it like a burning ball of gas. So the whole story is about a war between the moon people and the sun people.
What is the moon?
A ball of cheese.
Observable phenomena.
The point to this, though, is the programming runs like really deep. You don't notice it. You will actually proliferate this idea yourself, right?
But you know.
Know what? Know that it's everywhere?
You know that you're being programmed. It's just because everyone else is fooled.
No, everyone else is fooling themselves.
But you're not.
Everybody's awake to certain ideas or not, dude. All right, this is very grey area you're talking about. You're really overgeneralizing this. We know something. We don't know everything.
No,
there are other people that have come to the same conclusion that they're very deep going and have never touched flat Earth.
Look, all of us in this chat, whether you believe it or not, you know the Earth is flat. Period. There's no denying it. It's impossible to deny. Well, knowledge comes from experience. The only thing you know are the things you actually experience. Now, you can believe other things, right? So you believe that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, but you don't know that. And you can read a book that says, hey, cats are mammals, right?
But you don't know that?
But you don't know that, no.
You don't know that a cat is a mammal?
No.
Why not?
Okay, well, yeah.
Look, you'd have to look it up in the dictionary, the word mammal, and then see if a cat.
You wouldn't just know that? You wouldn't just know that a cat is a mammal?
No, you wouldn't just know that, dude.
You're saying that you don't know that a cat is a mammal?
No, why
you don't know.
Why should I believe you
know by yourself, Mark?
Are you really that desperate that you're going to do that weak ass attempt at a straw man? Really?
So, Mark, no one's ever told you anything about cats?
No, I didn't say that.
Nobody's ever taught you anything about cats. You're walking along the street one day. Oh, look, a cat jumps out in front of you. Are you going to go, that's a fine-looking mammal? Or are you going to go, oh, wow, it's a cat?
You're saying that you don't know what a cat is?
Why are you
Have you taken a biology class?
You're going to get muted and kicked out of the channel. Don't do it again. It's your only warning.
Everybody knows a cat is a mammal because of anecdotes. Like oh, I
no, because there's a word named mammal, and it's a category, and it has a criteria and properties, and then the cat will meet all the properties of the category mammal. That's how you know the cat is a fucking mammal, dude.
Yeah. Because I've never personally studied it myself, but like I have people who have told me, so that I know it's a mammal. So yes, I know.
No, you don't know that. No, you don't know that. Someone told you. You don't know that. You believe that
until you go and do it yourself.
Okay,
it's
so
just
nothing.
A belief.
So nothing anyone ever tells you, you can say you know.
You're right.
Not getting this, right?
I can know what I know is what they said.
It's going to frustrate me.
Yeah, hold on, Jai. I can know what they said. That's what I know. I heard some words come out of their fucking face, and I heard it with my ears. That's what I know. Whether those words are true or false, I don't know that.
So if I were to say a cat is a mammal, you don't know if it's true or false?
I can evaluate. I can. You really want to get kicked out of here, don't you? I can figure out if it's true or false by the way I just said. Can you tell me what I just said about how to figure out if a cat is a mammal?
You would look it up in the dictionary?
What would I look up in the dictionary?
Whether or not it's a mammal.
No, you retard.
You wouldn't use a dictionary for that.
Well, you're the one that doesn't know if a cat is a mammal.
And see what the definition is. And see that it's a category of animal. And then I would look at a cat and say, hey, this category, does the cat have the properties of this category? So that I can say, cat fits into it.
All right. That makes sense.
No shit.
Yeah, no shit. This is like 3rd grade. Didn't they teach you this in 3rd grade? How to figure out what categories are and whether something goes in the category? They used to have little fucking standardized tests. They would say, color. Circle all the things that are a color. And it would say blue, red, turtle, fucking ice. And then you'd circle ice, turtle.
Right. Calm down. It's not that serious.
This is way too good.
I feel the frustration.
Listen, you guys can't for some reason try to discern emotions, and you're so bad at it. This isn't anger. This is disgust. Okay.
I know, but it's all right.
Yeah, I'm disgusted.
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, I'm fucking having I'm having a conversation that's like 50 IQ points from midwit.
Oh, okay.
Have you got anything good to add to the conversation, or should we return to the lab?
Yeah, you got any gold proof? Yeah, can we get some gold proof?
Well, what would change your mind?
Globe proof.
Measurements of curvature. Right there, it's really easy. Measurements that the surface of the Earth is curving.
Well, how would I present those to you?
You'd measure the surface of the Earth and demonstrate that it's curving.
But let's say that I've done that. How do I show you?
Okay, I got it. Show us the data.
You can make a video. You can do show and tell in the side chat. That's up to you,
got to
my
be
friend.
a video. Just give us the data.
Yeah.
You want a YouTube video?
No, I want data, dude. We want data to evaluate. That's what we want.
Okay.
We want to evaluate the methodology to see what was actually measured, the technique. You know what I mean? The same as you do with any, like reading any type of academic paper. They have the experimental layout, and then you evaluate whether that experiment was rigorous, what the assumptions were, what the sources of error were, what the output data actually was. You know, you evaluate the experiment.
And you think people haven't done that already?
I know they haven't. Why do you think they have? Well, because I've talked to you. PhDs in physics, astrophysics, cosmology, pilots, surveyors, over a period of 10 years, anti-flat earthers whose whole fucking purpose of life is to oppose us have never presented such a thing either. And they've never gone out and done it.
Well, there's plenty of people that have.
Okay, show us.
Okay, I'll post you a link.
We can look. Post in the chat. This will be funny.
Jesse, path of lies.
They have shown it, and they're in here. They're flat earthers.
Did you post it already? Am I still waiting?
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Okay, I'm just asking, dude. Chill.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. We are waiting for measurements of Earth curvature, right?
I mean, he said it's done plenty of times. He probably, I guess it's probably has so many that he can't pick. So just make like a roulette wheel of like Earth curve measurements and just like spin the ball and whatever it lands on, present that. Because you got so many.
I bet you the video he presents is going to have a 23-foot tall Jaren.
Well, I was going to post scientific and empirical evidence.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, post that. Okay. Post that. Do that.
That'd be fun.
All right, this is from Wikipedia.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty.
Wait a minute. Did he say scientific? Because that's not going to work. This is geometry,
this
bro.
Is empirical evidence for the spherical shape of the Earth. So let's go through these.
Yeah, hold on. Is that what I asked for? I asked for measurements of curvature. Are there measurements of curvature?
So first of all, the visibility
I asked for measurements of curvature. Shut up. I asked for measurements of curvature. Is it in that?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Which one?
Well, we can go further than that. I mean,
which
we can talk about
in there is the measurement of curvature?
The first one.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
So the first paragraph, the roughly spherical shape of Earth can be empirically evidenced by many different types of observation, ranging from ground level, flight, or orbit. The spherical shape causes a number of effects and phenomena that, when combined, disprove flat Earth beliefs.
Yeah,
these
keep
include
reading.
The visibility of distant objects on Earth's surface. Well, us seeing too far proves it's flat, so that was a fail. Lunar eclipses.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
Empirical
I said lunar eclipses.
Is this empirical
appearance
evidence?
of the moon. Observations of the sky from a certain altitude. Observation of certain fixed stars from different locations. Observing the sun. Surface navigation. Grid distortion on a spherical surface. Weather systems. Gravity. And modern technology.
Awesome.
Okay, so where's the measurements of curvature in that?
Well, that's the introductory paragraph. Let's go through it.
Yeah, listen, we're not reading the Wikipedia article. You're going to go down it and find the measurements of curvature part and read it to us. You said what would convince you. I gave you the criteria. You said it's in that. Now go in there and find the data that measures the surface of the Earth to be curving. It's very fucking simple, dude.
If the degree of curvature is determined to be the same everywhere on the Earth's surface, and the surface was determined to be large enough, the constant curvature would show that the Earth is spherical. In practice,
Cool. So why
this
can't we
method
measure
is not reliable because of variations in atmospheric refraction, which is how much the atmosphere bends light traveling through it. Refraction can give the impression that the Earth's surface is
Is this
flat,
going to lead to a
curved
measurement?
more convexly than it is,
This is
or that it is
Measurement.
concave.
So
Mark,
This is what
measurement.
happens in the
Hold
various
on,
trials
trying
of
to
the
jump in.
Mark.
level
Trying to.
experiment.
Trying
Okay.
to. Right, this isn't a measurement, right? This is excuses as to why you can't have measurements.
Now,
Do you
can you
think
tell?
it's? Do you
Listen,
think
don't.
it's never
No,
been
no,
done?
no. Before you move on, I'm going to ask you about this refraction thing. What's the evidence for this refraction thing happening?
I'm not sure. You'll have to do the research yourself. You should.
Oh,
think
I know
for
it. I know
yourself.
what the evidence is. I know what its evidence is. The
Oh,
evidence
okay.
is globe
Explain it for
yeah,
us.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you what the evidence is. So the evidence for globe refraction is that the Earth looks flat. That's your evidence.
Right, but just because it looks
Yeah,
flat
right.
doesn't mean
Yeah,
that it
right,
is.
right. Yeah, right. So my evidence is the Earth looks flat, and that's my evidence of a globe. Think of how
That
retarded
doesn't
you
make
sound
any
right
sense.
now. I know it doesn't. I'm well aware of that.
So why are you saying it if it doesn't make sense?
That's your position.
What's my position?
That the evidence that there's globe refraction, and I asked you what the evidence is, and you said you don't know, and I told you what the evidence is. The evidence for the globe, for refraction, bending light around a globe, is that the Earth looks flat. They see the Earth looks flat and go, Earth is a globe, so the light must be bending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still
So your
not a
evidence
measurement.
for globe refraction is a flat Earth. Congratulations.
What shape is the Earth again?
Don't even try it, dude. It doesn't have a shape.
It doesn't have a
It's not
shape.
going to deflect away from this.
No,
Indio.
he's trying
You
to.
shouldn't say it doesn't have a shape. You should say it has the shape that it has. That took.
No, we're claiming horizontal water. Horizontal isn't a shape, but we must get back to the measurement of Earth curvature that's been done multiple times.
Yeah, he
because
demanded,
you just gave us an excuse that started with a flat Earth.
Can you explain to me how you measured the Earth?
No, you need to go and get the measurements. Not more deflecting back to us. You claimed measurements of Earth curvature. Remember?
Right, but you're the one claiming that it's flat.
Dude,
so the burden of proof is on you to disprove that it's round.
Us. Now you're talking through me again, trying to run away from the point. Right? Me and Joe are going to chase you down, dude. Trust me on that, right? You made this claim. You asked us what would convince us. You said it's been done loads of times. So go and get the criteria of what will convince us. Not reading out from a Wikipedia
Well, I did.
article
I
about
posted it in the
refraction.
chat. You can go and read it yourself.
Yeah,
but you
Mark,
probably wouldn't understand
Mark,
it.
stop talking. You're making yourself look even more stupid. Nowhere in your article did it.
That's just an ad hominem attack.
Nowhere in your article did it give us measurements.
That's another ad hominem attack.
No, you're using the word
measurements
ad hom
that are lacking.
An ad hom is when you insult the person to prove a proposition or disprove a proposition. We're just insulting you.
That's not very convincing. And
Well, so
maybe
far,
that's why no
neither's
one
your
believes the
evidence.
Earth is flat.
Neither's
No
your
one cares.
Wikipedia article that you haven't read and don't understand.
We
and wanna
know
try and
no one believes
gaslight us. What are you
Did you hear
talking, dude?
Did you hear that, Jedi? He said no one
What's that?
believes the Earth is flat. Yeah, we know. They know the Earth is flat. Everybody does.
Yeah, oh my god. What the fuck? We should talk to the last guy. This one's an idiot.
Oh, with this who's the last guy?
You, dude.
Oh, yeah.
At least you have half a brain cell.
Oh,
that dude had 2 brain cells and one is down of loneliness at this point.
We will have it stated for the record, though, that the gentleman did fail to provide measurements of Earth curvature.
I second that motion.
Okay, man. I forgot I existed. Okay.
Without objection, the motion is
Yeah, it's
passed.
irrelevant.
He did not present measurements of Earth curve.
It's a good start to 2026.
Hell yeah.
Next semester we'll have a good start when I ask my professor
Have your professor come in here.
Sorry?
Have them come in here.
Have them come in here? Well, that would just be splendid. Technically, I have like 5 different professors because they all teach different subject areas. Yeah, have them all. It's a group project.
Look, we've talked to people with a way higher academic standing than your school professors, believe me.
Oh no, university.
Okay.
Line them up, dude. Just bring them in, line them up, feed them to India. It's going to be great.
We've had people with PhDs in physics, mathematical physics, that wrote their dissertations on direct detection of the dark matter and all sorts of crap. So we've talked to people in academia of lots of different professions. Okay.
Yeah.
So just bring them in here. That's all I'm saying. We like academics. We treat them, typically academics act normal, so they don't get what that other person just got. That other person's kind of like an anti-flat earther, and we're actually familiar with him. He's in the politics server, so he does this all the time.
And he's a mod for this channel, which is great. I think, or was I looking at the wrong person? No, I was looking at the right person.
You probably looked at the wrong person.
Oh yeah, I did. Matrix. I was looking at Matrix.
He is definitely a mod. And he is the right person. Matrix is the right person for any job. Especially for trolls like him. So the only reason I want them to come in here, quite honestly, is for you. Because what you'll find out, that no matter how smart you think your professor is, they're going to come in here and they're going to be like, I don't know.
That would actually be, it's so interesting, genuinely.
Because they're not going to know. Like, so they'll say something like, yeah, stars are like, they're this, or, I think somebody did this, and you go, okay, can you actually show the evidence for that? And they won't be able to do it. They know all the claims, but they don't know what the evidence for the claims are, right? So they know why people claim the Earth is a globe, but they don't know what the evidence actually is, like how they even reach that conclusion. And maybe they'll bring up Eratosthenes or Al-Biruni or one of these other guys, but they won't know what they did or how they did it or anything about the techniques they used or what they assumed or even the precision of their measurement. They won't know anything about like how anybody actually came to the conclusion. Right? They'll just know the general claim. That's it. And this is typically what we find by people in academia that, they've never looked into it, and they'll typically admit it. They're like, well, I really don't know. I've never really looked into it. I just assumed it to be the case. I was taught it in a grade school or whatever, and, I just took it to be true. Which is kind of unscientific.
No, yeah.
Hello.
It's between the two of us.
Yeah, so this guy, he's like 18 years old. We've been kind of dropping the shit on him. You're more than welcome to talk to him. I'm kind of like been going at it well, hogging the mic.
Who are you even talking to?
You.
No, you were talking. You were saying to someone else.
I was talking to Says Who. Yeah, Says Who makes great arguments about this topic. Well, a lot of people do, but he's particularly good at working with people that are very unfamiliar with it because you're a newbie.
Okay, go.
Well, I mean, most people are. I mean, there's people that have varying ranges of experience with this topic. Typically, most people do like through internet memes or nonsense, some TikTok video maybe. But then there's others that they've got into it a little bit.
What do you even do for work?
Me? I'm retired.
Yes. You're retired? Oh yeah, because you're 40.
I'm way over. I'm older than 40, dude. I've been 40 in a while.
50.
I'm older than that.
Good lord. Okay.
When Huygens was doing his numerology and mysticism, I'm the one that cut open the chicken so you could look at the guts.
What was your work?
Network engineering, computer science, IT,
Okay.
dude. I shouldn't even say network engineering. I did a lot of stuff in IT, so I'm multi-talented,
Okay.
multi-skilled, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
But I'm pretty much retired.
Good job.
I work when I feel like it. If I want cocaine and hookers, that's pretty much the only time I work.
Okay.
I'm kidding, man.
yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm almost out of cocaine and hookers. I better go get a job.